We are live. If not, then we're all zombies. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome back to another Thank TOS. It's Friday. TTIF. And if you are new to all this and are joining me for the first time, what the heck is wrong with you? No, I'm just kidding. Welcome. This is a newbie's is a newbie's tech channel dealing with the world of technology, total technology for beginners and beyond. Usually Linux, but we'll talk Windows, Mac, Chrome, OS. We'll talk all subjects that can make morons out of ourselves occasionally. You missed a private live chat because I made a moron of myself. I accidentally, well, Google I think did it, but I accidentally had my mic on mute. Anyway, I figured it out. It was in the control room app. Anyway, welcome aboard, all the people out there. So this is somewhat of an open chat for this evening. So stop by and say hello if anybody's out there for this Friday evening. Again, if you're new to this, don't be shy. You don't have to give your real name if you don't want to. You don't have to join us or get live on camera. If you always wanted to stop by and say hello, have a question, a tech question, we'll do our best to answer it. But again, this channel was designed primarily for new users to Linux and technology, really. So I see Anselm is in the house. Penguin Pacific, welcome. Yu-Gi-Oh! Master, he says, hey man, what's up? Hey, oh, what's up? I do have with me Dale and the kitty. That's always a good prop to get more viewers and Patreon, patrons. We have Steve and of course Tim.
Howdy, folks.
Good evening.
Hello, everyone.
Mugen, that I get, yeah, I think I got a long-winded email. I'll have to look at it later. Hello, Terry. Was it was it important? I don't mean to be funny, but do I need to address it now or? Terry Love, you was just off to bed. Oh well, I know it's late for you, isn't it? Well, thank you for stopping by. Terry is a long-time supporter of the channel. Thank you. Hello, William. Welcome all to this live stream. If you'd like to support the streams, check out the links below. And who knows, you may be invited to a private chat. We talked about the state of Linux for 2018. We all gave our thoughts about the state of Linux. My thought, and this is what you've been missing, the year of the Linux desktop has been successful, but not in the way that you think. As a little teaser trailer, as it were. Anyway, welcome all. We'll give it a few minutes, and then we'll talk about some random news articles, whatever's on your mind for this evening. It's early in the UK. I guess depending on your point of view, Terry, you're what, 5 hours ahead? Yeah, it's early or really late, or one or the other, you know. But Terry, thank you for stopping by to say hello. Maybe Sunday I'll do one during the day. Yeah, sometimes I'll do my Good Morning Linux Sunday mornings. We'll see. Yuki says, if you had the opportunity to speak to Microsoft, what would you say to them? Family friendly or non-family friendly? Family friendly, I would say, look, Microsoft, can you cut the update process by less than a year? That's what I would say. I would tell them to trim the process for updating the system. It takes too long. That would be my second thing. My first thing would be, do we really need that EULA terms of service to be that way? Really? That'd be the first thing. But my close second is, takes too freaking long to update. Forget about it. But that's my answer. Hello, Ben.
What about this thought, TOS?
Yeah.
With the way Microsoft had split some of their things up, they're not totally concentrating on the OS anymore. They're, their Internet of Things and all that. What do you think the direction of the Windows is going to be if they're not going to focus all their power on it? That's not their moneymaker anymore.
It's gonna be on services, on specific software, not so much on the I almost said distribution, not really. Not much on the core OS. They may even come back with it and give another try at a Windows 10 phone. But I think it's more on services, subscription model, something like what Apple has done, because it has been very successful. But I think that's what they're leaning. Look, when they gave away the Windows upgrade for free, well, technically yes, but they wanted something in return. They wanted your blood sample, as it were. I suppose that was a fair exchange. Not really. I would rather pay and be private, you know. But that being said, they're into the data business. They're into the subscriber business. Personally, I don't think it was necessary to go into the full-blown, we're going to suck your privacy business. I don't think that was necessary for Windows 10 to thrive. I understand being in the subscriber model business, or the subscriber / revenue business, because no one wants to be in business to go to lose money, to lose revenue, or go bankrupt. I get it. I guess they had to do what they had to do, but I think you're right. It's not so much in the core Windows 10 anymore. It's in machines, subscriber subscriptions, licenses, Microsoft Office, stuff like that. And I think they may branch out into another Windows 10 phone again. The Windows phone that I played with worked. It was fine. They just didn't have enough apps, or enough tested apps, and it was a failure. But I don't know what the next version of Windows will be called, but it sounds like they're making this almost like a rolling release model.
Yeah.
But they're into paid subscriptions ultimately, and of course ads, but like this channel here, things have changed with the YouTube revenue model. AdSense just doesn't cut it anymore for a lot of people. It has to be paid for this channel, paid donations, whatever you want to call it, paid subscriptions. That's why I'm not concerned personally with this channel in terms of subscribers or the growth of it. I mean, that's important, but subscriber growth for this doesn't necessarily equal revenue growth. Whereas before, years ago, get enough subscribers if I could, and the AdSense revenue grew accordingly, and it worked. That's why it didn't bother me then, because if it ain't broken, why fix it? It did break eventually. But I think what Microsoft is trying to do for them, I think their business model was broken, and they see what Apple has done, and they're trying to change that. But it's not the core operating system anymore. You can get a Windows 10, a Windows Home 10 version for like $99. Not to defend them, but that's fairly cheap considering the amount of time it goes to develop a stable system. I think that's a fair price. It could be a little less, but we'll say $99 is probably fair. But they're into the paid subscriber model or data mining model for targeted ads. Paid subscriptions. I think that's what they're leaning towards, not so much the core operating system. I don't know what the thoughts are here in the community, but that's how I see it. Welcome, Daniel. AJ, welcome.
I think they're going to kind of like you had said, Apple's business model, is doing really well for them. And then the whole idea of kind of a rolling release model for the OS. Mm-hmm. I think I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they Microsoft has some pretty smart cookies, working for them. I wonder if they would end up having some type of a hybrid mix-up kind of between how Apple has done things and how Google has done things with Chrome OS.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if there's, something there.
Yeah, because isn't Apple heading over towards with their OS being the same on the phone and on the desktop? Isn't that just Mojave has kind of come closer to that?
Their hope, I think, I don't keep up on Apple stuff too much, but I believe the hope is that by, I think 2021 or 2022, essentially you have the same OS on the telephone that you have on your mobile. You have the same OS on the mobile device as you have on the desktop device, and the only difference is orientation of buttons and things like that. You know, the user interface, a little bit different orientation, but yeah, essentially they're going to do that.
Dale, what do you think? He's happy with Linux. Forget about it.
Got rid of all the Windows on the 4 computers I was personally using. It's only on my wife's and my sister's computers because they like to play those search and seek kind of games on the thing, and I can't get them to install on Linux.
Yeah, yeah, that's we talked about on the private chat on the state of Linux. We talked about that a little bit. Again, those of you who missed it, but briefly about the state of Linux, it has been successful, except on the desktop. And this, now I kind of had a different twist on it. But yeah, gaming has not progressed to the level where it should be. I think Linux needs a signature game like Microsoft has Halo, probably the standard for gaming quality wise. I think Linux
Tux
needs
card
that.
Doesn't cut it.
No,
maybe 20 years ago, before, yes, pre-Halo, absolutely. Or Master Chief on a Tux card. Cortana, get out of my way. BITCH, get out of my way. No, but it's a family channel. But I love playing Tux because Super Tux card's hilarious. When you get those little bonuses, you got a fly swatter knocking out the guy, the driver. Stop texting and driving. No, but Super Tux card is fun. Is it a signature game? I suppose. It's not what I had in mind. Welcome, Joey, in the house. But okay, Joe, hang on.
They could develop a game installation program inside Linux that you stick the disk in, it recognizes it and installs it just like Windows. That would be perfect. I don't know how difficult that is. I'm not a computer programmer, but that, to me, that would solve the whole problem.
We keep talking about the gaming side. I'm not a gamer. You guys know that. But there is, and we have the whole lost for words. Wine, right? Wine on Linux. There's this thing called Crossover. It's an application you install on Linux. It's a paid app, and you can apparently install Windows applications using it. Has anybody ever tried that to throw a Microsoft
I did.
game? You tried using Crossover?
Yes, I was I distro hop all the time, and I was trying out the new Deepin 5, and it comes with Crossover already installed on it and some other proprietary programs. And I was able to install a number of things, but it was not easy at all.
Okay.
It wasn't just like you downloaded you had to have it like a digital file. You found the file and then it would install it for you, but you still had to tell it what to do in some ways. It wasn't just, here's the file, install it. It didn't work that way.
So it wasn't like grabbing the .exe and double clicking it out of your downloads folder and it installs for you and you're done.
No.
Took some legwork. Okay.
Yeah, if I wouldn't have been using computers for a number of years, Mac, Windows, and all different kinds of Linux, I probably would have gave up. But after about 3 hours, I did get it to kind of work, but it ain't worth it. Every time I want to put something in, spend 3 hours, no.
If I have to use a Windows app, use Windows. I mean, really, if you got to use something in Linux, you know, if you're buying a Lexus, you don't pop in a Chevy engine, right? Or vice versa. I'm just saying. And by the way, Joe, you know, with that lighting, you look like Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah, well,
which I love, Captain Jean-Luc. You may come back in the next Star Trek film.
Yeah.
I'm on. I don't know why it's doing this again. I had problems with this laptop once before. It's my test laptop, and it was fine.
Well, the lighting is off too. No, it's the lighting that kind of threw me off, Captain Jean-Luc.
Yeah, I got a lamp up behind my head. I suppose I could shut it off. I was trying to do a Tim F here, and it's he's got the light glowing in the face. I got it behind my head like a halo.
Joe, try to. I think when you're talking, you're coming up as an HD stream. Go up and shut the. Try to go off of HD. That might be doing it.
I mean, it's fine. I just cracked the joke because the lighting threw me off, and I'm like, "Oh, is that Joey?" I guess it is. Okay, Joey. Hey.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to correct it. And
don't worry about it.
That's all right.
So you're in a different room, right?
Yeah, I'm in my back room over here.
Okay, well that's cool.
I shut everything out because we had nasty storms. We're still getting some lightning and stuff, and I thought that just in case, I wanted to protect the other computer.
Yeah, no storms today. It was dry, beautiful. I went to Sherwin-Williams, bought some fresh blue paint, painted the sky blue. It was awesome, man. Anyway, Daniel, I think I sent you the invite to join on the private stream. Would you like to join this one? You are supportive of the channel. Thank you.
Said that he was having earlier in the chat. He said he was having problems with. Internet.
Okay, got it. Okay, sorry. Okay. Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, the private streams are for the supporters, as a reward, quote unquote. But you can just send me an email for this one if you'd like to jump on. This one's free. The Pink Panther. Daniel says the pink. Dun, 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 dun,
That's how Joe's coming through. Yeah, kind of.
Oh.
Kind of a little pinkish background.
That was green a minute ago.
Peter Gabriel, I like. In Your Eyes, classic song. Dun, 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 dun. Hello, Timo, another supporter. Hello, Tim. You sure don't want to join us. Come on, Tim. I know you're tired, but come on. Copyright strike. I know, demonetized. You know. And by the way, to keep this real, please don't give me all likes. I need 1 or 2 thumbs down to make it real, to keep it real, so people don't think it's fake. Anyway.
I just can't get myself to do that to you.
I know. I wonder if anybody ever on YouTube has never gotten a thumbs down. I wonder if that's even possible.
Ever?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just a thought. Daniel using the phone hotspot. Ooh, that's not good. I mean, not good for this. But thank you for stopping by. Okay, got it. Gee, yeah, I feel bad. I don't know how else I can get you on. I know how. If I went to visit you personally, you know, and got on my service, see, but maybe someday. That would be something. Knock on Daniel's door.
We're gonna do that to the. We're gonna do that to the Panico family.
One day, I got enough supporters. You know,
I tell you, Joe, next week we're doing the show live from your place. You better get the garage cleaned out, buddy.
Lots of luck with that.
Where are you at around again, Joe?
Wisconsin.
Yeah, I know. Because I'm Chicago, so.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down in. I'm over in the south end of Janesville.
Okay.
Yeah. What part of Chicago are you in?
Out by Bartlett.
Oh yeah. Well, that's. You know, you're really from Chicago. That's not Chicago, right?
Well, I grew up on the south side of Chicago, so.
Oh, there you go, my man. All right. Yeah, I was Northwest Sider.
Joe, did you see what Sky Bear says?
No, I'm still trying to. I'm gonna wind up. It's changing on its own. You see what happens?
Look at that! Oh, look at that! He looks like a Oompa Loompa.
Well, Sky Bear says, "Are you streaming from the Red Planet? Mission Control salutes Joe."
This isn't gonna work. I gotta go fire up the other computer. This isn't gonna work.
Well, the lighting is
yeah.
okay.
Well, I turned it off thinking it was gonna be better, but
no, it's actually worse. Now you look like a zombie.
I'll be back in a little bit.
All right. All right.
Question here as far as using Chrome.
Yeah.
I logged on and I'm full screen, and I have nothing I can click on to make it smaller that I can see the chat. All I see is TOS.
If you double click yourself or one of us, you can switch back and forth manually. I think. Let me send another invite here to Timo.
Timo wants to know how long we're going to be. You know what, Tim?
Timo, hey.
We'll call her quits about 2 or 3 a.m. this time, buddy.
No, this will not be a toss-a-thon unless someone gives a very big incentive. I'm not staying up till 3 in the morning. Yeah, but that can change. I'm open to bribes, cannolis, juicy steaks, food. Hello, TSM home visit sweepstakes. Enter the home visit toss sweepstakes. Yeah. Oh. Anyway, Timo, check your email.
I guess I'll have to wait till I watch the video to give it a likes up because I can't get the full screen to go away.
Really?
Are you looking at Mr. D? Are you looking at YouTube right now, or are you looking at Hangouts?
I'm in the Hangouts.
Okay, if you open what browser are you using right now?
Chrome.
Go ahead and open up a second tab and go to YouTube. And as soon as you get to YouTube, go ahead to hit TOS's channel and click on the stream. And then hurry up and get your mouse down to the mute button so you don't get a bunch of audio from the feedback.
Well, I just found out tonight that you can pull the chat up on its own pop-up.
Yep.
Yeah. See, we were very helpful tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
It's the pop-out chat for Pop OS, but bump. No. Hey, Joey's back. He's back from Mars. Welcome back. D. Thomas. Yeah, hello.
This looks a little better, I guess, right?
D. Thomas is me.
Can you hear me okay now?
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you good, Joe.
Okay.
PCTLC is calling. I sound like a kid calling. Do you want to come out and play? Colin, would you like to join us? Who knows what will happen tonight?
Get the Aussie a link.
I'll give him a freaking link. Give me a second here, okay?
Hey, let's rival Big Daddy tonight.
Okay. Colin, send me an email. And I'll send you a link. Send me email totalostoday1@gmail.com.
Hey, you got your wish. You got a thumbs down.
Thank you. You guys follow
It wasn't me.
just not more than 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on. That happened before when I first fired up the laptop, and I got it straightened out. Didn't update. You know what might happen though? I listened to what Zev had said a while back. We were talking last week, and I said, why do they put all the options right out of the gate to update? Because there's some of the stuff that it tells you, it warns you, it could screw up the system, this and that. So I turned everything on, did a full update. There was a list this long, and guess what? I got a problem with the camera now. So
what OS is on that? What do you got on that one, Joe? Peppermint?
Well, Peppermint's one of them. Peppermint's the main boot up Linux, but I've got Linux Lite and what you call it? I think I got Neon in there, and I've still got Windows 10 on the other drive too, but which I never use.
How old is that?
Huh?
How old is that machine?
Oh, it's just a few months. I bought that I don't know, it was around the first of the year or something, several months. It's not that old.
You know what? I wonder. That sounds like some of the host of issues I was having with 1804 based stuff.
Well, like I said, it was fine, and even when I did updates, it was fine. But tonight, I went and turned everything back on per Zeb's suggestion, and which I didn't look at the list. Usually, I scrutinize the list and went ahead and did a full update on everything, and now all of a sudden, I got a camera issue again.
Okay.
Might just be a fluke.
And there's the band from Down Under.
Hello, gentlemen.
Freezing his cookies off.
What's up, mate? How you doing there?
What's the temperature out? What's the temperature today, Colin?
I don't know. Rough guess. Pretty cold.
No, I just had a thought. Are there any Mexican Aussies down there?
I don't know. TOS. Mexican Aussies. Wow, I really don't know.
Just
don't know any Mexicans. Let's put it that way.
Hey, Colin, I try some freaking Vegemite. Ain't no freaking taste no good, man.
Mate, that's the best, mate.
Did you ever see the movie Shrimp on the Barbie with Cheech Marin? And he goes down to Australia to open up a Mexican restaurant.
Really? That's the plot?
It's
oh, wow.
Cute movie. It's a funny
It's a good
movie.
premise. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. No.
I think it's from the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Cheech Marin talking like this. What you mean, man? Right? Yeah.
The only place you might find Mexicans is in the Zambrero restaurants. We got Zambreros here, so.
Oh wow, food again. Oh man, I'm getting hungry now. It's my fault. No, that's on me.
What's Zambreros? Is that like a chain restaurant of some type, Colin?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I thought you might have had it in America because most things we have now is from America anyway. So
no, we have Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
See. Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Zambreros is Mexican food, like I think it's in in a wrap and all that. I think something like that. Anyway, I don't know. I've only had it from the daughter, so she buys it every now and then. But apparently they give certain amount of their takings to charity, so certain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's how they operate.
Okay, it was just a thought. Mexican Aussie. I'm not sure how that would work, but hey,
Yeah.
Joe Johnson says the AUR has malware.
Yeah, what's going on there? Is anybody? I haven't really chased that up, but I mean, apparently it was a PDF document or something, or application or something.
Yeah, I caught it. I did not read it though. So that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Something like that. Is that right, or I don't know? I sort of just read in passing.
Right. It was. Which one? It's I tipped my tongue. It was one of the apps that runs a PDF viewers or whatever or something.
Yeah. Like that. Okay. All right. So it just goes to show why is this all happening? All this malware and stuff. I mean, somebody mentioned. I think it was on Big Daddy Linux last week. I think that is Linux getting more popular and people are targeting it now? That was the question. So,
yeah, it was EB, I think, actually.
Yeah, could be. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Well, we just finished up a private chat, a reward chat. Thank you for all these supporters of the channel. We talked about the state of Linux 2018, and generally, from my point of view, Linux, the state of Linux on 2018 is great, but not on the desktop. It actually still kind of sucks when you think about it. However, I did say on the flip side that it has been successful, but not in the way that you would think. But you're gonna have to wait for that video. That was posted for the private people, not for the private people, the supporters as a reward. But I'm gonna edit that and post it publicly somewhere down the line. But that was my thought. But it has been the year of the desktop, but not in the way that you think. Right. And let that be a teaser. So.
Well, I didn't get to watch the whole of Derek's video. I haven't finished watching that yet. I'm going to have to continue it. But he talks about Linux failed on the desktop is part of his title. So I think he was referring to Matt Hartley, I think, or something.
Yeah, he was. And he also part of Derek's reasoning is because he's usually the problem. No, I'm just kidding. He's always breaking it. He was having trouble. He was having trouble the other night when he was doing that podcast too. So.
I tell you what, Linux. If you just, I'll tell you what, you can give somebody Linux Mint 19 or Ubuntu, right? Go for your life, and do a bit of Google searching or emails, YouTube, Facebook, everything. You won't have an issue, right? Everything will be fine. If you start going a little bit in depth like we do, then you're going to come across issues, right? I mean, unless you have a bad kernel that comes through and wrecks everything, I mean, you should be fine. I mean,
well, look, let's be honest. On the desktop, for the masses in general, a 2% share is pitiful. It's 20. I'm just calling it mathematically speaking. Yep. It's not that good. It just isn't. And there are for the reasons. There is no affordable mass marketed Linux desktop, and the sweet spot, I'm guessing about the $400 range, maybe $500. You go higher, the masses will go to Windows. And for the Mac users, they're not going to pick either one anyway. So you have to target Windows users.
Yeah.
But again, unless they can walk into the store, touch it, feel it, hug it, squeeze it, kickbox it, whatever they want to do, you know, now Google has the resources, you know, for better for worse, they can build it, but they haven't yet. Now Chromebooks, kind of, you know, but that's, you know, you don't really generally see it in the store.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
mainly
for schools. So yeah.
You know what they say? If you build it, they will come.
Well, I think so. Out of the discussions, you know, why would Windows users come over? But you just set a computer in front of them with a Linux on it, not even telling them anything about it. They'll figure it out. I mean, how many, you know, on these phones that you didn't know the operating system and you had it, you know, down really quick.
How popular is it? You know, I have two pretty much outdated phones. I mean, they still have this HTC Max with still the best speakers on the market. Shame of you. Shame on you, Android manufacturer. You suck. I'm just going to say it.
Absolutely.
And then I have a Samsung 4 with the little Chihuahua speaker back here, which is ridiculous. But this is but until one day, the day I can buy a new phone. But and that's just me. So why doesn't Google build a mass-marketed Linux desktop that you can automatically sync your phones if you choose to? Master on off, just boom, just like Apple. You got 1 billion potential customers, bam, just like that.
That's what
let's say.
And you know what?
Right. Right. Switch. Tom. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In looking at it, I'm looking at netmarketshare.com. Mobile users, Android has 70% of the market share, and Apple Apple has almost 29%. But then when you go to the desktop market share, Windows is still 88%. Mac is only 9%.
What happened to the Ubuntu phone?
I'm sorry.
That one, as Toss would put it, that one's sleeping. That one's sleeping with the fishes.
Forget about.
The project was taken over by UB Ports, and it's being worked on with a Purism, so that's going to be released with the
Librem
5.
That may be a good. You know what frustrates me about Android and all these, and Apple and all these ridiculous systems? They don't do anything innovative. Like you'll get your new Samsung S9 or whatever. There's no change in the user interface. It's the same old every time. Why don't they bring up something that works better than the same old? I mean, it looks almost the same as the Galaxy that came out many years ago. why don't they change the user interface and do something innovative? Because they don't have anybody knocking on the door to force change. And if you had an Ubuntu interface where it was completely different,
well,
it may force it to change.
Yes, the pure Android phones, I believe, is the upcoming Nokia, which looks good. Nokia, send me a phone just to test. I promise I'll give it back. No, but the Google Pixel phone and the old Nexus phone, I believe, are pure Android out of the box, I think, which is fine. Just fine. That way you can add to it as you know. My HTC and the Samsung, they got extra bloatware in there, which I don't want or need. I mean, I could, hack them, but But you're right. I mean, Ubuntu made a mistake back, Ubuntu Phone in 2012-ish. They had a GoFundMe thing, whatever, to build the Ubuntu phone called the Edge. Remember?
Yep.
I'm thinking, great. I think they'll get their, whatever, on top of my head, 10 million. They wanted 30 million? Wake up. Of course it failed. Well, they needed that much, but you got it. And then somebody sent me not a vicious email. Wow, because I said, if you want a phone for the masses, and some go, well, the Ubuntu phone is not for the masses. It's for Linux users. Well, then why are you asking a massive sum? If it's not for the it made no sense, so it failed. Then they did get between 10 and 15 mil, which is pretty darn good to get started.
Yeah, absolutely.
And since then, forget about it. Went nowhere, and that's a shame. Yeah.
Did you see a couple of the videos that showed you how it was supposed to work, and it looked really good? I was really excited about all that because the way the user interface worked was a lot different, and it was a different paradigm to the way Apple and Samsung work as well. So I was, like yourself, really excited about that, and the end result, as you say, didn't work.
Right.
So, and marketing, as you say, marketing's the big issue for Linux.
Right.
We have no marketing, do we?
Not much.
Me and Switch are the marketing, and we do it for free. We do it for free. Imagine that, and they still freaking fail.
Well, I mean, it's not free. I mean, we do it for AdSense. So we do it for free.
No, all things considered, believe me, in 8.5 years, I haven't put a single penny in my pocket. Everything went back into the thing, So I'm due for a vacation. Hint. But first of all, Google, or let's just pick ABC company. They're worth $1 billion, $10 billion, $100 billion. ABC company wants to build the Android PC. I'm just speculating. Great. ABC company is trusted, well funded. They got smart people working on it, like me and Switched. But no, they've got the resources. We're going to build an Android PC starting at $400. Okay, the specs, whatever. The specs are going to be on par with Windows. Now you need a spokesperson. You have to buy a radio ad to start off. It's cheaper. Eventually go to TV, and you need an ad where you see Windows 10. We're going to do the updates. Feel free to take a shower. Paint your house, fix your flat tire. Now we're going to do the update for ABC Android Linux. Done. You think that wouldn't get potential customers' attention?
Unless it turns your camera funny colors.
Well, I'm going to assume that there are no bugs out of the box.
Yeah, right.
Because if you build something new and there's bugs out of the box, you're dead. No chance of gaining it. It has to work right, just like Windows 10, because that's what you're paying for. You're paying for it to work out of the box. With Windows 10, I'm not paying for privacy. I get it. I'm not paying for fast updates. I get it. I'm paying for it to work out of the box. I'm paying for. I'm paying. And sometimes it does, but I'm paying Microsoft the money, so I don't have to spend money on Tylenol. But no, Anyway, it can be done. It can be done.
But that being said, I just saw some reports a few days ago of people saying that they had some updates come through on Windows 10 and it deactivated their licenses. all of a sudden says your copy's not active. So who knows what's going on there now?
I've had that happen in the past.
Of the OS or of
the OS
like Office?
It's all of a sudden they'll get a pop-up that says you need to activate your copy when in fact they've got the license.
The thing is, unless they've changed something, you actually, at least for a while, have not needed a license to actually run Windows 10.
Well, it's in the bio.
Without it, you can't change a lot of the settings. But you're right. If you had a valid license, it should never have reverted.
Right. The license, when you buy something that's OEM manufactured, they're embedded in the BIOS. But if you buy something that you're building and you're buying a copy, you're putting a license on it, So that's what I'm assuming they're talking about, because it sounded like it was people that had bought copies. And I'm talking, my understanding is they're all legitimate copies. And they said there was some updates that came out, and somebody started complaining, said all of a sudden I got this, my copy's not active, and then somebody else piped in and said, yeah, mine's not either, and it was all in the same period of time here the last few days.
I wonder if these were upgrades from Windows 8 and Windows 7, because there's fresh installs, really. But the thing is, if you update from Windows 7 and 8, I believe that you need to activate. It should activate, I think. I can't remember. And then once it's activated, then you can reinstall it. But if you haven't activated it and then you reinstall it, then it's because it's got to be activated with I think it reads your chip, your motherboard chip, right? That's what it does these days, right? Or it reads a code on there, right?
It's hardware specific, yes.
That's exactly right. So it'll know that hardware has been activated with Windows 10, but if it didn't do that and then it updated, then it might have detected that it was never legitimate.
The friends I saw, they were fresh installs. They said they bought a copy. They've had it on there for almost a year, and then all of a sudden the thing just, they got an update the other day, and next thing you know, it says they weren't active.
On my wife's computer just the other day, she hasn't used it for about a week. Turned it on, and I typed in the password for her and said, no go. Re-enter your password to make sure it's a valid one, or go to the Microsoft account and re-log in. Well, if you can't log in and you only have one computer, what do you do?
Right.
So I just started re-entering the password. Eventually it took it, but it was a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I haven't run into issues.
Glitches, somewhere along the line for certain people and certain. I don't know what's causing it or whatever, but and then you get somebody like yourself, Cameron, where you don't have you don't have any problems. You've been running good, and
I have multiple computers. Hello, Tim. Noah, hi.
Tim.
Thanks for stopping by for 10 seconds. No,
Hold on.
no, seriously, thank you, Noah. Thank you for taking. I think he was in bed or something. That's okay. Just don't worry about it. Thank you for stopping by.
He was asking me. I got to pull mine up. Yeah. He was asking me to stream until midnight. I'm like, I ran out of stuff to say.
But
I ran out of stuff to say.
Yeah, I find that hard to believe.
Wow.
All right. In reality, I just wanted to get on to the TOS thing.
Hey, Switch. I actually have a question for you.
Yeah.
Forget about everything that's surrounding Google and your stance on privacy. What do you think about Chrome OS as an OS, an everyday usable OS?
Well, I mean, I haven't used it enough to try to use it much. But the problem is most of the features on it you need to be constantly connected to the internet to use. So that basically means that it's not going to be a distro it's not going to be an operating system you can do a lot of good offline work with, and so that's problematic.
That's a good point.
If a person was to go and get one of the higher buck Pixel units that you can actually install Linux apps on, do you think that is a feasible thing to do?
I mean, it depends on what you're using it for, really. I mean,
sure.
Hey, TOS.
Hi, Noah.
Hi, Noah.
Say hello.
Hi, Noah.
Noah doesn't want to wake somebody up.
Chrome OS doesn't have any. It doesn't have any links to repos on Ubuntu or anything. No.
I don't know.
They're working on that functionality. That's really going to be the thing that if there's anything that brings Linux to the desktop, it's going to be the bridge through Chrome OS.
Yeah,
because Chrome OS is Gen 2. It's a modified Gen 2. So anything that will run on Chrome OS will feasibly also be able to run on Linux. In theory, and so once that becomes popular enough that people say, let's develop for Chrome OS, things will then be able to very easily be ported over and run on the rest of Linux. So Chrome OS is really going to help. So maybe we should all just go out and buy and promote Chrome OSs just so it grows.
I'm not ready to go there. Yeah, I mean, I'll be happy to talk about it and praise it for what it is, but unless I can get a full-blown desktop to do what I have to do.
I think, though, going back to Tim's question, I would not have a use for a Chrome OS device. The reason is, like, I mean, I do my writing on a Lenovo S21E, right? And so on an S21E, it is a very small computer. It has like a 4 or 5 hour battery life. It's tiny and it works perfectly running Peppermint. And it's a full operating system. Why would I want something like Chrome?
Yep, gotcha.
Okay. Cool. Fair enough. Noah, what Linux do you use, Noah? We'll give Noah a chance.
Ubuntu Studio.
Ubuntu. Oh, really?
Studio. Very nice.
Oh, you and Joe have something. Okay, gee, we have the studio guys in the studio.
Yeah, I guess for the studio guys, what basic music production software is on Studio by default?
Yeah.
Audacity.
Is there anything else, like is Adore or LMMS on there?
I think they're all on there just about, actually.
They've got just about everything you could think of on that thing.
Huh.
Yeah, Adore's on there, Audacity, there's Basero, there's...
Is Kden Live on there? Is Kden Live on there by default?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah. And I think OpenShot's on there as well, isn't it, Joe? OpenShot and
I think they're all on there. I literally they're all Studio just went through.
OpenShot is on there?
Install.
I think so.
OpenShot? Now, is there a link to Tylenol for Open? No, I'm just kidding. But
OpenShot's on here, but I don't remember if it was on there by default or if I put it in there just to see or look at it. Kden Live's in there, K3B's in there, Handbrake's in there.
Mark says Ocean Audio. Okay. Yeah. Mix. Okay.
Well, you saw how fast from the time I logged off from the back room.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm almost tempted to try, but I'm going to wait for the next when's the LTS release coming out, Joe?
I am not sure.
All right, I'm going to wait till.
I'm still waiting for the Ubuntu Mate point release, and then I'm going to.
Okay, got it.
But I will still keep this on here because I'm liking it. I really am.
Noah, is Ubuntu Studio stable for you, Noah?
Yes.
Cool. That's a straight honest answer. Yes. That means no bugs.
I figured out my mouse problem on here.
What was the mousy problem?
I'm almost too embarrassed to say, but it was in fact the mouse. Real men don't read instructions. There's actually the speed adjustments here.
Oh, jeez.
And I messed with one thing, and I thought, wait a minute, and all of a sudden I brought the speed back down, and it's fine. It's like, holy cow! All this time I've been suffering with it.
All right, look, guys, like when you grab the book, open it up and read, but no.
Well, half the time they
no, wait. First grab it and go, and then read it.
Hey, that's what I have to do on my books oftentimes.
I have to find it first.
Just because I have so many of them laying around.
All right, Yugi. People. All right. Next time, you don't have to post your email in public. Send it. I'm going to cut, but take this off so you guys can stay private. Okay, this will be probably the last invite for tonight. We got a full house here. Yeah, when I say send me your email, send it to me privately. Okay. Hang on. That's I should have been clear. That's my fault. Sorry.
Switch, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I was trying to send you a small donation on PayPal, and it says your session is outdated.
That shows up on the channel, but it does not show up on the website. So just follow the link down to the switchtolinux.com/support. There's a PayPal link there that should work.
Okay.
The one that shows up on the channel for some reason gives me that error, and I have no idea why it's there.
Yeah, I've also noticed with PayPal, for some of you, those who've clicked the monthly recurring one, first of all, thank you. I keep getting an email. It's been it's not working. It's been like rejected month over and over. So I don't know what's going on. For some of you it works, some of you it doesn't. I'm sorry about that. If it doesn't work, just go to Patreon, or if one doesn't work, chances are the other one will. I have no control over that. I check my account, everything's good, so I'm not sure what's going on.
I gotta remember where those links are at. I'm gonna take that PayPal one off because that one on the channel for some reason just does not show up right.
Okay.
I've got a question on Windows 10 actually, TOS. Do you think that Windows 10 has become like a semi-rolling release with its updates?
Yeah.
Don't you think it's become like that, and it's bloating the whole system with all these backup stuff that they reinstall or whatever, and I think this is where a lot of the problems are coming from with Windows 10, right?
It could be. We were talking about that before, where I think Steve asked the question, I think, about it. Where is Windows 10 going? It's not so much the Windows 10 anymore. It's the paid subscribers, the data mining, data usage, targeted customers. I mean, look at what Apple has done since 2001 with iTunes. 99 cents a song, but times millions or billions of people who. That's a lot,
Yeah.
Yeah, to answer your question, Colin, yes, I do feel that's part of the issue. It's what I don't like about Windows 10. Does it work after all the for me on multiple issues? Yes, I haven't noticed any blue screens or issue. It just takes too long. And one update on one machine, it went into the next day because my 2-hour battery died on the laptop. But
and that's the thing. I think what I've said this before is Windows 10 is forever doing a refresh also, because again, you get people going in there trying to combat the telemetry or take some of the privacy things out or whatever, and that's its way of also reactivating.
Yeah.
Especially with the big releases.
Well, I've got a work colleague that's got a Windows 10 that just will not update. It's stuck on its updates, and he can't install the updates. It's stuck in a loop. So I'm probably going to have to reinstall Windows 10 again, which I've done for him before. And this just seems to happen all the time, and it's just,
That's another common problem, Colin. There's been a lot.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely, it is. Yeah. And the only way to get out of it is just to reinstall the whole thing, because it's just you just can't. You probably can fix it, but it's probably just quicker just to reinstall it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there's been talk of some workarounds or whatever, and it just comes back to exactly what you said. Fresh install, it's more productive to just do that.
So Linux for the win. Linux for the win.
Yeah.
For tonight, yes.
For tonight, yes.
For tonight, yes.
Until
the next release comes out, and then we'll have 6 months to bang our heads against the screen.
We're still waiting for the .1 anyway. Everything will be right after that.
Yeah, I'm sure hoping so.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, I wanted to say hello to you all. Hello, TOS, Carmen.
Hi, Tim. How are you?
Joe.
How you going, Tim?
Hey, Tim.
Colin. Long time no talk.
Yeah.
Greetings, Tim.
Yeah. Greetings.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Bye, Tom.
Oh.
You're leaving now.
No, sorry I missed your private stream.
Yeah, don't make me call Luca Brazzi, okay? He's ticked off as it is, I just cleaned out the caddy trunk.
I could deal with him, too. I'm also half Italian, my friend.
Okay.
I'm half Paisano, too.
I understand. No, thank you. No, you're always welcome. Thank you for contributing. Oh. I call all the people on PayPal, Patreon my assistants, because you do assist in helping this thing go.
You're more than welcome.
Thank you.
You did get my email back at you. I told you I'd try to get on, but
I did. I had a but since you said hello in the chat, come on, you got a few.
I got home. I just got home. Got home.
Right,
I was down in Kokomo, so
Kokomo.
Rough day. Kokomo, just north of Indianapolis.
That wasn't a movie.
Yes, we're gonna take you down to Kokomo.
Yeah, well.
Oh, geez, demonetized now. No, just kidding.
Oh, Lord.
Tom Cruise movie, wasn't it? Wasn't that?
Yeah, wasn't it? What was it called?
I can't remember the name of that movie.
Yeah.
Now.
Well, there was the Cocktail. Was the one I think.
Cocktail. That's the one.
Yeah, Cocktail.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, that was actually an okay movie. It had some cool soundtrack on it. Yeah.
Yes, it did. Yes.
Yeah.
You guys
How you
ready
doing,
for
Tim?
Top Gun 2?
What's that?
Are you ready for Top Gun 2?
Oh, I can't wait. I love the soundtrack.
Are they making Top Gun 2? Are they making that?
Yeah.
Are they really? Oh.
Yeah.
They're remaking everything that came out when I was a young person.
Yeah.
Yes, they've
No,
lost
There's
their
no original ideas in Hollywood anymore.
That's exactly right.
But you know what? With as long as they do just one remake and stop or a sequel.
Oh no, they won't. No. There's
Yeah.
gonna be Top Gun. There's gonna be Top Gun 2. There's gonna be Top Gun 5. There's going to be Top Gun, the backstory of the general. There's gonna be Top Gun, the backstory of the guy who shot down Tom Cruise.
All right. Well, in Top Gun 3, the planes all crashed because of bugs in Linux in their computers. No.
It was the bugs in Windows.
Okay.
That's right.
I don't, okay. Right. Well, that's a number 4.
Well, if Linux could run the super battleship, I think it could run a plane.
There will be no bugs in the Linux because it's a movie and they got to make everything perfect.
That's true.
You know, I was down with a headache earlier today, and I watched the original Frankenstein from 1931.
Wow.
I watched.
Everybody had it. It's alive! It's alive!
And I watched. The Wolfman Meets Frankenstein from 1932.
How about Abbott Costello meet Frankenstein?
I was just say you haven't
That's the
watched
best one.
if you watch that one.
Yeah, I've
That's
on Saturday night.
That's a very funny way to fix a headache, Tim.
Well, you know, I was kind of on my back a majority of the morning and some of the afternoon, so you know, you got to find something you can watch it. You don't have to put a lot of effort into.
Yeah.
Yes, fair enough.
And that worked.
Top Gun meets Rocky.
Hey, yo, where's the freaking play? Hey, yo, Adrian, hey.
What they need to do, Hollywood need to bring out the Secret Life of
I'll be right
Toss's
back, Todd.
Caddy Trunk.
Okay,
That's what
all
they
right.
need to do. The Secret Life of Toss's Caddy Trunk. There you go. That's original.
Yes. The secret.
But there's
God.
some things even that you know.
That's got to stay. Yeah, that's got to stay private.
Oh, is it? Sorry, Toss. I didn't mean to bring that up.
Sorry, yeah. No problem. It's okay.
Your caddy trunk gets mentioned all around the internet. You know that, don't you? Every
It
now
does.
and then.
See, you know, we should have famous people for spokesmen for Linux distros. So you can have the Terminator doing something for OKD is fantastic, you know, or you could have Rocky going, yo, OKD, you know.
Yeah,
You could have
I like that one.
let's see,
to the budgie, to the budgie.
to the budgie desktop. Get to the chopper. Matthias is in the house. Matthias, would you like to join us? You are a contributor to the channel. Thank you. Send me an email, Matthias, at totalostoday1@gmail.com. Don't make me call Uncle Guido, okay? Just join. Heather says, what did I miss? That's so funny. Everything. No, just kidding. But yeah, I mean, famous people for spokespersons for Linux. That would work. It would get people's attention. Not sure if they would sell anything, but it would definitely get people's attention.
Could you imagine Charlie Sheen? Give me a beer. I need some peppermint in it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, really. Yeah. Okay, now what's this thing called? Ubuntu. Sounds like a disease. It's a disease. I got a rash from it already. No,
And he probably has it.
yeah, right. Yeah.
Someone would definitely make a Linux operating system called Adrian, right?
Yeah.
Hey, yo, I use Adrian OS. Hey.
Adrian.
We could have Al Pacino as Scarface. Okay,
Oh, yes.
you little cockroaches. You need to use fedora, okay? All my Cubano friends use fedora. You know, and it always works. You know why? Do you know why? Because they pop some lewds. It always works for them. It's in their mind.
Oh, God.
You've got to love the way that guy talks, don't you? That's funny.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Use Chrome to join the chat, Yu-Gi-Oh! Use Chrome.
Got room for one more body in there. I think it maxes it.
We're going to try, you know. We're going to try. We know.
God.
Yeah.
There's Ben. We might be topped out. That's okay. Ben will have to go and eat dinner in a minute or two.
I know.
We need it. And he'll take a bite out of that apple.
That's a Stephen Adler. I know Steve said hello to my little friend. They should have made a sequel to Scarface, like Son of Scarface. Why not? They're doing everything else in Hollywood, right?
You know what though? There's
I
some
know. Kenny, Tony Montana, Linux.
There's some movies you just cannot do. You can't do sequels to. It's better off just leaving it.
Yes, I agree, Tim. That's
Unfortunately, they've taken all those movies and made sequels to them.
And all of the movies that have had sequels done to them, with very few exceptions, like good movies like The Godfather and stuff like that, any sequels just generally aren't that good.
The third Godfather, I remember watching it, and I forget what scene my dad was in that. It's been so long, but I remember watching it. I thought it was more of a I mean, it has its moments, like when he says, "I keep getting out, but they keep pulling me in." If you remember that scene,
Yes.
that thing with the Vatican and the, I mean, it had its moments, but because it took so long to film it, it lost some of its luster. The script wasn't a tight script, as I learned in college. It had its moments, but no way a classic like the first two. So
15-minute kitty break. 15-minute kitty break.
Yeah.
For me, the movies that I enjoyed the sequels to the most were Grumpy Old Men and Shrek. All of the
Shrek was pretty. I reckon Superman
2 was okay.
Yeah, Superman 2.
Star Trek 2 was better than the first one, I thought. No, I mean there are some that hit the mark. There are some.
There are some number 2s that are actually better than the first one. So
Alien 2 or Aliens, just as good as the first one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Alien movies are very good.
Alien versus Predator surprised me. I thought, oh my goodness.
The first one was good. The second one, called Requiem.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a second one.
AVP, the first one, I thought was somewhat believable. I hate to say that, but I actually bought the DVD. Yeah.
It was actually.
I enjoy it. Now they're making another called The Predator. I saw the trailer. It looks awful.
Yeah.
I hope the trailer. I mean, it looks really.
The last Predators movie they did, which was the exclusive Predators, which was called Predators with a plural.
That was okay.
I thought it was bad. I thought it was so bad.
Look, make the Predator sequel with Arnold.
You know what?
This time the Predator says, "I'm back."
Here's the Predator movie I'll go to the theater and see. Okay, I want to go to the theater and watch the Predator versus Jurassic World. They seem to keep making both of them because in Predator 2 there was a T-Rex skull on their ship, and I want to see the backstory of that.
Okay,
and
all right.
Predator versus Jurassic World. We got the Predator. They can construct the Predator, which we already know is coming in every couple of years.
Or they can make it a common like Rocky versus the Predator or something.
Predator immunity if they go in and take care of all the dinosaurs. It's a win-win. The alien race gets to eat. They can feed. We get something out of the deal. Great. You know, that's the one we need to have.
Hollywood has lost its creativity. It's something. I think the most creative movie they've done in the last 5 years was Cowboys versus Aliens. If you saw that, I actually enjoyed that.
I like that. Yeah.
I like that. It was different. I enjoyed it. Yeah, it actually worked for me. But they took a chance. It doesn't always work, and most of the time it really doesn't.
Well, that's really exactly the thing. Is they're not willing to take the chance, and they should be taking the chance.
Yeah. I guess I just read where they're shooting a movie, Roe versus Wade, about the 1970s, and when the actors got the script and the production, they started walking off the set. That is so rare, because when you sign that contract and you're ready to go and you get it, and they're saying, I guess they're saying, WTF, what's this, and walked off the set. And these were named stars, John Voight and others. I don't know if he did specifically, but let me tell you something. When a script is done, sometimes a script, and I wrote scripts in college, I wrote actually 3, and they're hard.
Everybody!
Professional, hey, what's happening? Who said that? That's the guy from Hollywood. No, but
this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Master 88 here.
Welcome.
Greetings, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master.
No, welcome. But to get to my point, professional writer scripts sometimes are paid to do the script right. It takes years, not always. And for them to walk off the set because of the script, forget about it.
Hey,
I'm getting feedback, yeah.
That's got to be Ricky that's got his...
Yeah, Ricky, I'm getting feedback.
That's better.
Sound off for now.
Sorry, Ricky. But thank you for stopping by to say hello. No, seriously, thank you. But yeah, I mean, I just read about it. It's because I know what it's like. My dad's film took 6 years with the right script to get it done, But they're walking off the set, so I think that movie is dead, DOA, even before it gets, if they're going to finish it. That's bad, just to say.
Honestly, that's good that it's not gonna, if it doesn't get made. And the reason is because Hollywood has this crazy way of completely twisting things around, and then it completely confuses the truth of what actually happened.
Right, yeah.
Now look at Inherit the Wind, right? The movie Inherit the Wind was so unfaithful to the trial that it was just crazy.
Yeah. Matthias, hang on, I just got it.
I haven't heard that one, Inherit the Wind. I haven't heard that one before.
It's old. I mean, it's old. It's about the Scopes trial back in was it the 50s, 60s to test. It wasn't to test it was to test the teaching of evolution in schools.
Right.
And the entire thing was a sham anyway. But the despite that, they did this whole movie about it, and they made William Jennings Bryan, who was an absolutely amazing guy. They made him like this narrow-minded hypocrite fool. But if you actually read the transcripts of the court trial and see what the movie did, it was so unfaithful. Right. In fact, it bordered on the hateful, is what it got.
Am I good now?
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome.
All right. Thank you.
Rose says Pacific Rim was fun to watch. She says my father's been would have been interesting to watch. We're fingers crossed. My dad's trying different things to get a distribution deal. Rose, too much politics. That's the bottom line. It's the politics in all things. Just plain sucks. Period. Yep. I don't care what party. They all. It's a family channel, so I'm not going to go anymore. Hi, Aris. Yeah. My dad's going to do, I think the end of the month, I think he's doing a free public screening of the trailer. He rented a theater and tried to get someone to call him and cut a deal or whatever. But he's ready to go. But he cannot get an offer he can't refuse yet. Imagine he's Italian. Imagine that.
Duh. And what part did he play in The Godfather 3?
I don't remember the 3. So, I
don't remember. He was one of the.
Okay, well, I know.
Two.
I could tell you. I remember the first one the best. He was in the scene where, Kay comes to the property of the Godfather, and Michael's in Sicily hiding after he shot the cop.
Okay. And
he's talking to the consigliere. Behind the consigliere, there's 1 or 2 bodyguards. One bodyguard standing with that is my dad. Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh,
that was him. He didn't say anything. The second scene where Sonny, right before he gets killed, he gets a phone call. And she says, "What? Just son of a bleep state! I'm going to come." He runs out the house without protection to get to his car. He turns to the left, points to the guy, and says, "Get off your ass." That's my dad.
The duper.
And then another scene, at least one more, where Sonny catches up with his brother-in-law and beats the crap out of him on the street, on the sidewalk. And there's a bunch of bodyguards standing. The guy with the white fedora, I think, that's my dad. He's looking at, like, looking for shooters or something. That's my dad. Skinny at the time, but that was him. So he's actually still getting royalty checks. He said one time he got a check for like 10 cents or something. Some stupid thing. But
well,
I think the first two are
because every now and again I get royalty checks for this show. I'm like, $1. Where'd that come from?
Okay, all right.
It's common, you know.
Godfather TOS tonight. I should have changed it to the Godfather TOS tonight. Yeah, yeah, that would really monetize it. Yeah, you know. But
I've been using Peppermint 9 for about a week now. I am absolutely in love with this system.
Nice operating system too.
Matthias, welcome. Sorry, but I didn't mean to ignore you. Hi, Matthias.
Have you all gave up on MX? Because MX is still my love.
MX is fine.
Oh, I love it.
MX is fine, yeah.
And you guys have the problem with the 1804, but
yeah,
I keep the 1604 on this one until the support stops. But the 1604 to me is a lot better than 1804.
No, that's I think Tim is the oddball. He's using the unusual distro, right, Tim?
I think I'll give MX a shot when I get a chance.
You talking to me, Tim, or the other Tim?
Tim, other Tim, yeah, Tim F, yeah.
I'm using Tom's favorite distro right now.
And which is what? Which is what, Tim?
Elementary.
Which one's that?
Are you being facetious or are you being you know, that's what kind of determines that.
No, guys, this is out of necessity for me because, well, not essentially having to use elementary as such, but it's out of necessity because 1804 based distros, I'm not interested in running an Arch based or an RPM based.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I run Debian based, and the 1804 stuff just is not working well on my hardware yet. And I say yet because we have to let things catch up, get to the point releases, blah, blah, blah. But elementary, the stable elementary that's based on 1604, I have no issues. I have the only pain in the butt that I have is, for some reason, Chrome browser is not running good on anything that I'm running.
No, what you're saying is not that unusual. Awesome. It's not that unusual,
But
to wait
MX,
for the next,
If I stick with a 1604 base distro for the time being, I don't have any issues. Everything is cool.
Yeah.
There you go. And again, the MX is just, it's incredible. You said something there a few weeks ago, TOS, about you stick with something, you don't sit there and over customize or whatever.
Right.
And when something's working right, you just keep it working. Don't break it. And
MX and Peppermint are both good.
Yes, MX is awesome. That's the one I'm sticking with. I'm sorry, Colin?
No, I said MX and Peppermint 9. They're both really good distros, to be honest. I've just done a string of videos on Peppermint 9, and the more videos I make, the more I get to know the operating system, and it's, really good. Yeah.
And I watched your video again for Dolphin, running with the Dolphin. I'm promoting that guy because I just love that system.
Yeah.
It is good, I must say.
Matthias, what do you use?
Linux Mint 19.
Nice.
I'm trying that next. I'm getting rid of Ubuntu. I'm going to put Linux Mint on. This is my main system I'm running now. I've been using Ubuntu, I think a couple of months before I was using the beta, then I updated it to the new one, the new release. I want to try Linux Mint 19 because that looks pretty good.
It's fantastic.
Besides Peppermint 9, which is one part of my dual boot machine, the other part is Windows 10.
Dual booter. Hey, you're the smart one in the house. Hey.
But one of the things with my Windows 10 is basically I found a way to turn some of the telemetry off.
Okay. Cool.
Keep it off.
There is basically, if you go into services .msc, there should be a little area in there. Look for a program called Diatrack, and you have to use the command prompt. if you can find a way to delete that, that'll disable some of it.
But then when the problem
with that
wait
is
till the update comes
an
through.
overhaul on the update, it's right back again.
Yep.
Yeah, I can understand that, but
yep. Once the updates hits, that comes back. There are things that are
You're
core
never
to the
gonna
OS.
get
Yeah, there are things that are core to the OS that when the update runs, it looks for those core pieces, and if the core pieces aren't there, it drops them.
No, Microsoft has done a good job of of that, but it's just the same what they had to do. But
Tim F, can I ask you a question? What are the problems you're having with the 1804? Because I know there's a few others having some issues. What are the issues? What's the main issue you're having?
You know, I can't put my finger on it, Colin, all the way around. The best way I can put it is I'll get 1804 distro up and running. With one exception. There's one exception to that, and I'll give you that in a sec. I'll get it installed. I'll run the updates. And then as my time progresses, like within about 4 or 5 days, it just seems like the OS is not stable and solid. I get video tearing if I'm doing Hangouts. I get a lot of choppiness in that. Response time out of the launching apps. I have a 8 gig 208 gig RAM 256 SSD in my main laptop, and everything on a 1604 distro is instant. I mean, instant. And I even noticed as well, using a 1604 based distro, I can boot up. I encrypt everything. I encrypt the whole hard drive, and then I have a password for the user. I can log in on this machine in about 20 seconds or so on a 1604 based distro. On an 1804 based distro, it's taking like 35 or 40 seconds.
Right. Geez, double.
Yep. So, but the one bright shining star in 1804 based stuff that works well on this particular hardware is Pop OS, and it makes sense that Pop OS would, because System 76 is putting it on their machines that are going out the door.
Yeah.
The last thing I want is somebody to get a machine and not have Pop work. But there again, Pop is also putting the effort in to making sure that they have Linux-based hardware inside their boxes, so that helps. But Pop OS runs really good on this machine.
But I thought the version of Pop OS out there wasn't exactly what's on the System 76.
There's a subtle difference in it. What I've read a little bit on their Reddit thing, their Reddit feed is that when you first start up the machine with, if you buy a System 76 laptop, when you first set up the machine, there's differences in the setup screens when you first power on a System 76 machine as compared to what you do on, say, my HP. But so far as the OS itself, as it runs after it's set up, whether it be a System 76 box or any other box, they're completely identical. It has a difference to do with the installer and the setup on first boot after the installation.
And there is 2 different downloads for Pop OS too. They've got an AMD and an NVIDIA, I think it is.
Correct.
So you got to download the one that suits your hardware as well. So.
Yep.
Hey, TOS. I have a theory that I want to bring to your attention for just a minute. My theory is, I believe in about maybe 5 to 10 years from now, I have a feeling that every computer that you're going to see is going to have Linux on it. People will start using Windows even less. That's just my opinion.
I hope. For a mass, we've talked about it. The way things are going now, I don't see it. But things can change. Google can make an announcement. Hey, they've got the resources. It could be I can see Amazon maybe getting to it if they've got the money. Of course, they would have to start from scratch.
Well, the only operating system Amazon has ever done is the operating system for their Kindle Fire tablets.
Yes.
Though that operating system, if they were to re-engineer it, they could make it into a Linux distro for desktops and laptops.
Wasn't that based on the Linux kernel though? Everything that was on those?
I think so.
I thought it was based on the kernel.
I think the only way that's going to happen, what Ricky's talking about, is if you get the support from the graphics card companies and all these other hardware supported companies. They need to support Linux directly. If they don't, I cannot see that happening. Right, that's the thing. If they come on board, right.
Well, if it's true that there are 1 billion users of Android, okay, let's be conservative. They build an Android PC for the masses. Let's say only 10% come on board. That's still a lot. I'm just speculating. But I would like to have a machine and plug this in, and have an option on or off. But let's say leave it on, plug it in, good to go. Syncs automatic. That'd be great if they give us the option. None of this privacy crap, on and off. But I don't know. It hasn't happened yet. There is a reason, and I don't know why yet.
One thing that I'm keeping my eye on as well is that Librem phone that's been announced a long time ago.
Yep.
Right, Matthias, it should just work with Linux. I agree, but I've had to go to Synaptic and download extra packages to sync my Linux machine to my Linux machine. It's
a real big deal nowadays. The whole, I mean, when I read some reviews, some reviews talk about smartphone functionality, with whatever distro the reviewer is looking at. Is that seriously going to continue to be a big concern as time goes on?
I'm not sure, because the problem right now, the biggest problem in my opinion, is that everything is so moving towards the cloud technology, which I think is a bad thing, but it means that people right now don't interface their phones with their computers much at all. They should. We should be doing that. We should be taking manual backups. We should be backing up our photos, but we don't. We rely on the infrastructure of the phone technology. So I've never even seen somebody look at that, honestly.
I should start all my streams. Welcome to another TOS Today show, blah, blah, blah. Have you backed up your system yet? Have you backed up your photos yet? I should start it. I keep forgetting. But I'm going to say it now before you crash it.
I just backed up all my stuff today on a new 128 gigabyte flash drive that just came into the mail today.
Okay, cool.
Good. That's good. Yeah.
I back my photos up on the hard drive, but the thing is, I mean, you've got to somehow. You will do backups and backups, and you'll have so many backups. I just rename the folder and try and back up everything, but then you've got all these photos from previous, which are probably the same. So what's the best way to back up? Because you can only name your folder. You can't name each individual photo because that would just take too long, right? So you got to make you got to name a folder and give it a name, and like the date that you put it on there would probably be the best thing.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the rsync command will sync things. What it will do is it'll look for the file, and if the metadata has not changed, it will skip it. If it has changed, it will overwrite it.
I haven't used that, so I need to get into that. That's the one that's on Linux Mint 19 too, isn't it?
There's a specific terminal command that's called rsync, I believe. It's not one I use. I keep all those extra piles of extra files, and the reason is redundancy.
Yeah.
So, I won't keep them all forever and ever and ever, but what happened is I want to have, because if a sector goes bad on your hard drive and it's a critical image file, sure, you might have the backup file, but if you have 3 backup files on that one hard drive, I mean, it's a picture. How much data does it take? If there's a bad sector, you should still be able to recover the one, though the other one may not be. So that's actually what I've done. I actually have backups because I'm only really backing up maybe 5 to 10 gigabytes on a 1 terabyte drive off my business computer. And so, I mean, I have backups going back as far back as 8 years on that without a big deal. So
yeah, probably me too, Tom, to be honest. So yeah. And getting back to this Linux for the desktop and what Ricky was talking about, I mean, we did the challenge last Saturday with Big Daddy Linux Live, and that was Deepin, Manjaro Deepin. Now let's talk about the Deepin desktop itself, right? Now I've got a separate partition that I've loaded up in FS tab. Now I cannot get to the permissions on that, but you can normally right-click a folder and go to the properties and set your permissions. There's nothing. There is nothing in the properties of Deepin. Just click on share folder. That's it. There's nothing else in there. I had to chmod the folders, right? Because there's nothing in the right-click properties in Deepin. I just find that hard to believe. I mean,
isn't that because of it? Isn't the Deepin file manager a spin of Nautilus?
It is. Yes, it is.
And isn't Nautilus? I mean, part of the GNOME project is they're stripping.
No, you got properties in. Let me have a look because I'm running that now, but I'm pretty sure there's just your standard properties in that. I'm pretty sure.
For some reason, I was thinking that Nautilus they were ripping a bunch of different.
They
were pulling a bunch.
You know, of all the names, Linux Deepin, as if they're deep in it. All the freaking names.
But let's have a look at it. I right-click a folder in Ubuntu. You've got basic. The different tabs are basic, permissions, and local network share. Now, in Deepin, you don't have any of those. Now, I just find that hard to believe when you want to add a different partition or you want to, get it to load up when you start up. That's just, to me, just a completely important part of the operating system that's missing. So,
I agree.
I'm looking at
Did you see it, Colin? Was your experience with it loading up? Did it seem slow loading to you too?
What, the Manjaro?
Manjaro Deepin. Did it seem slow loading?
Well, it's on
the bottom, and then the side, the side icons, and
I can't really tell because I'm on a low spec hardware computer on that. So
Joe Johnson says Manjaro is garbageware.
Yeah.
Is it that bad still? It didn't work for me 2 years ago, but
Joe just had a bad experience on Manjaro. I mean,
all right.
really good when I used it. It was
it looked very polished.
It wasn't good for me 2 summers ago. Granted, it's maybe changed, but yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know if it'd be something I'd use as a daily driver. What I've seen of it, it looks polished, but
it's Arch based, so
it seemed a little laggy for me.
Especially now since the AUR has gotten hacked or has malware. It's
we were talking about this a little bit earlier about if you just look at the arbitrary list on DistroWatch, the top 10 kind of what would be a newbie thing, and you got Manjaro at the top. That kind of strange to me, but you would think Manjaro is one of the distros, kind of like I think KDE Neon.
Yeah,
they actually have people in the background that have hardware, laptops and whatnot that they're selling with the distro on it.
Right.
You would think that would help get the distro a little bit more polished.
Yeah.
And not as buggy or crashy or whatever you want to call it. Because if these hardware makers are bringing a distro in to throw on a Linux laptop or a desktop, you would think that kind of the rule of thumb would be, hey, this thing better be pretty dang solid.
I just had a thought with the AUR now having malware. Maybe the AUR stands for all useless repository. Just a thought.
Well, the problem, we got a situation where the user repositories, right? They're submitted by users. That's what it is. That's why it's a high risk. That when the Linux community is small and everybody knows everybody, and it's still a pure community, you're not going to find that. But we're getting to the point. That's what happened with the app packs. That's what happened. I think it's the snap packages. Really, we have this case where now malicious actors are seeing what the Linux community is doing and then trying to pollute it by getting in and ruining things. So we have to be cautious about anything submitted. And that's why I hate GNOME so much, because I have to rely on third-party extensions to bring basic operating system functionality to my computer. In a world where we can't trust people, GNOME is relying on having to trust people to do basic things.
Don't you think too, Tom, that there's so many people out there that have always I don't want to use the word brag, but it might come across that way. That, Linux is so secure. You don't have to put any kind of a virus protector on. You don't have to. It's almost like taunting to some extent, and it's really that to me. I thought that was always the most foolish statement. It's more secure overall, but that is not anywhere near impervious from being, infected.
I'll have to say,
and you can't protect somebody from being, the user themselves.
Yeah, it is more secure, and I do tell people that. And there's a couple of reasons for that, because you have a repository where you get all your applications from, so you don't have to go trolling the internet and get viruses for starters. So that's one security point. And not only that, you have to put your password in to do a lot of things, which you don't have to do in Windows, right? And you can run Windows like you can run Linux if you set it up correctly, right? And you can have that extra security, right? There are ways of doing that. But see, Windows asks for email. So you're running with an email with everything open to whoever when you're running Windows with an email address. So I don't know how secure that is.
I'm just saying my point, and you're absolutely right. But my point is that with Linux, for so long, there were so many people that were headstrong coming across that, you'll never get a virus out of it. Using the word never is an awful quote.
And one of the biggest challenges too with that, Joe, is that people started promoting like
Ricky has feedback again.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. What I was saying is we're starting to get to this point again where we're getting all these distros that are trying to promote things like you can run Windows software here. Zorin is the biggest example. And they're coming pre-configured with Wine. Well, all Wine does, if you're not specifically installing it to install Windows applications, is allows Windows viruses to run on your Linux machine. So you have zero protection against that in that case.
Right, you're
that's why I can never get behind Zorin. A lot of people are like, what about Zorin? Well, when Zorin stops shipping Wine activated out of the box, I'll think about recommending it.
Yeah. Well, and that's like Boot Camp on a Mac OS. You're going to put Boot Camp on it to put Windows on it, and there went your security of the Mac OS, which was supposed to be so much more secure too, because it's built off of Unix. And then you turn around and you dual boot with it, and where you at? You're doing the same thing. So,
isn't Boot Camp still being used on most Macs?
I imagine it is if you want to dual boot, yeah.
Right. Is that what you use that to dual boot? Is it? Is that what Boot Camp is?
That was the way of dual booting and loading Windows up.
Oh,
it's like splitting the computer in half. One side was Windows, one side was Mac. From what and basically you needed that program to. It's kind of like their version of Wine, only much more perfected.
Right. Okay. So my question, Tom, is with Wine, because I've always struggled with this one, and what you were just chatting about was if you do get a virus within your Wine, does it stay within Wine, or it can be written to be deadly against Linux, your Linux operating system?
It depends on how you have your configuration. So things like Play on Linux will install it to a sort of like a virtual environment, which, whatever that virus does, it'll infect the C drive or it will get on the internet, whatever that virus is designed to do. But if you simply install Wine, just Wine, without Play on Linux, without the virtualization part, it is constantly running. I can take a CD, put it in there, run a .exe file, and it executes.
Right.
So that's the problem.
Wow.
Now, when it executes and it looks for your C directory, it sees the C directory, which is a subdirectory on your home folder. But if it's something that is harvesting data, if it's something that is making internet connections, it still does all that functioning.
Well, if I get a virus in my Wine, I'll have diaspora. What a name for a social network. God.
I don't even use Wine. If I need to do anything, even involving Windows apps,
if I gotta use, and I mentioned if I gotta use something in Windows, then use Windows.
Hey Tom, what about crossover? Do you know anything about crossover?
Yeah, that comes default with Deep End crossover for free.
I was just wondering if that runs.
Yeah, because they want you to cross over to Ubuntu Mate.
I just wonder if crossover is using the same type of technology or installation procedures that
that's a paid app, isn't it? Though crossover.
Yeah, it is a paid app, but it comes free with the Deepin operating system, though.
Okay.
Does it stay free, or do you have to upgrade it?
No, I tried to use it, but I didn't understand how it works. I didn't spend too much time with it. It got bottles or something, I think they were called. Is it bottles? I think crossover users.
Yeah.
Something like that. But I mean, I couldn't sort of work it out, so I didn't worry about it. And then you got the other one that's Lutris. I don't know what that's like. Is that similar to wine? Does that work similar, Lutris?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. I don't know. That's what EB uses a lot with.
Yeah, he installs with Lutris. He uses Play on Linux as well, I think.
Sounds like a character in the Godfather movie. Hey, talk to Lutris. Hey.
There we go.
Yes, Lutris is like Play on Linux.
Well, that's why even with dual booting Linux, I would never, I shouldn't say never, but I've done it where I've basically just given more space, I've reduced the volumes on a window. But the best way to do it, if you're going to do it, is just 2 separate drives, order on off, depending on what you're using.
Crossover says that it's a Windows compatibility layer available for Mac OS and Linux. So that would be Wine, right? Because Wine's a compatibility.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. But I don't think it is. I don't know if it uses Wine, but yes, actually, I think it does. I think it does use Wine. Now that I think about it, yeah.
I have a question for you, TOS. What do you think after Canonical dropped the Unity desktop? What do you think about the community taking it over and having them do stuff with it?
What I've noticed over the years with Linux, when something gets forked, it generally gets all forked up, as it were. Not always, pun yes intended. It's not the same. If someone takes over, they try to keep it going. If they don't have the resources, manpower, money power, or a combination of both, you can't build or maintain something from little or nothing. It just the math doesn't work. I think it's great that someone's going to try to continue. I think it's still a great desktop. It's going to get forked up, I think, in the long run. I hate to say that, but that's history proves, has shown in general. Yeah.
Never hide what you got to say. Say what you got to say. But I know that they're demonetizing things, so let it out, TOS. Let it out.
Isn't that kind of the same idea as to what kind of happened with the Budgie desktop too? I mean, Budgie kind of went out, and now haven't the good people at Solus kind of taken it back and said, nope, it's ours?
Yeah, they took it back under their wings, Tim.
Yep. Yeah. It wasn't the thing there is that they were not happy with the implementation of the desktop elsewhere, and they didn't like.
Sorry. No, they didn't like the fact that they were using that some of the Budgie people were using Python for the for the applications that you put on your bar. What are they called? The add-ons and all that you can use. So they were using Python and what's his name doesn't like Python. He likes to keep his desktop completely clean with C or C++ or whatever he uses. So he doesn't want Python programs, and so they can't use it upstream, which was the problem because he doesn't like it. That's Ike. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I just came across a headline. Of all the things, Guido, the guy who created Python, is stepping down. Guido Van Rossum. Guido?
I'm sorry. Python just didn't fit with the 5 families.
What's his last name?
Van Rossum.
So
Van Rossum.
Isn't
Guido
Van wrestling them?
Wouldn't Van Rossum be from like Denmark or somewhere such as that?
I don't know. I just caught the headline. I'm like, really, a Guido?
Guido.
In Linux? Okay, all right, whatever. Not to take anything away from Python, man, but the first name is Guido. Okay.
Hey, Switch, I got a question for you.
Yep.
With Linux Mint, if we know that there's going to be another version at some point, where do you think the Mint team could go from here?
What do you mean another version?
Like we have 19 right now.
Yeah.
We know that in a couple months, maybe a year, there's going to be a 20. Where do you think, when it comes to making the Mint desktop better, where do you think the Mint team could go from here?
Well, I don't know. I think that the desktop is good. Like, as far as talking about Cinnamon, I think it's good, and they need to probably stop trying to tinker with it, because there's actually been a lot of bad regressions in the desktop lately, particularly on how the desktop itself functions. I've seen weird things like moving things from attached drives, like network folders, moves instead of copies in some cases, but it's random. When you create a new document on Cinnamon, sometimes it gets misaligned and it's a little harder to get it clicked on. A lot of this happens when they made the change, I think it was in 3.7 to 3.8, where it allowed you to sort the desktop icons differently. They added functionality to sort desktops, but they broke a lot of things in the process. So as far as developing that, I don't know. I thought they've been going in decent directions. You know, they've been keeping it modern without trying to get this modern UI. So they've been keeping a UI that is comfortable, but adding a lot of modern features. So maybe we'll start seeing phone connection support like KDE Connect has. We're already starting to see great improvements in online accounts for people who use those and things like that.
Yeah, I love KDE Connect.
I can definitely agree with that, Tom. I would also, there's one other thing I would like to see: a Linux Mint phone.
A Linux Mint phone, did you say?
Yeah.
Phone.
Yes, a phone with the complete Linux Mint OS on it, and you can choose which environment you want.
Well, I mean, that would be pretty hard, though, to pull off.
We're struggling just to get a Linux phone.
Well, I mean, what Purism is doing is they're working on basically essentially one underlying distro in 3 desktop environments, those being GNOME, Plasma Mobile, and Ubuntu Touch. So to develop itself, they would really have to be invested in the mobile as a platform, and that's really not where their market is.
Okay.
We were talking about Apple. I just got another thing off the news feed. Looks like Apple is offering some freebies. Thieves steal $27,000 worth of tech in Fresno Apple store heist. $27,000. 4 men made off with $27,000 worth of merchandise from an Apple store in Fresno. A group of men only needed a few seconds to make off with more than $27,000 worth of computers, phones and computers. I mean, I know they were fast phones, but that's ridiculous.
No. Yeah, 27,000 of Apple products is just 2 MacBooks.
Yeah.
I gotta mark this down. That's one for Matthias. Good one. I like that.
Love it, Matthias. That's very good.
Right on. Yeah, that was only 2. Yeah, right.
2
Wow.
They got 2 MacBooks, 1 iPhone 10, and 2 pairs of earbuds.
All I gotta say to that is all the stuff they got together, they made out like bandits.
Yes. I mean, it's a shame a few rotten apples have to spoil the whole shopping experience, you know?
Hey, Josh, I'm going to interrupt for a second. I want to thank you for inviting me. I'm going to call it a night. I got to work.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, sir. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you.
Hey, guys, you have a good night, good day, or wherever you're from.
Have a good night, man.
Anytime. Stop by.
Is it Steve?
It's Steve, yeah.
Okay, no worries, Steve.
Take care.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Yep.
Take care, guys.
Night.
See ya. So, TOS.
Yes, sir. Yes.
The person in the chat, Logan Goodwin, said Linux Mint 18.3 on phone now S5. How is he
Oh
running?
yeah, I saw that. Really? That's what you've
How's
done?
he running Linux Mint on a
How?
S5? How does that happen?
Interesting.
Is that before or after the 6-pack of? Never mind. But just kidding. Just kidding.
There is an application for Android that allows you. I mean, there's a few of them that will allow you to run terminal applications and things like that,
Right.
which you can kind of pseudo run things. Although, I mean, full distros like that, I'm not sure. So I'm not sure what's going on with that.
Okay.
So it's
It
running
says
under an emulator or something, is it? Is it like a what do you call it? You know your TouchWiz? Is it a bit like another TouchWiz that you install or something like that? Is it? Or what?
I don't know. I've never used it before. The closest I've gotten to that is NetHunter, which is basically a Kali Linux build that you can put on your system.
Right.
So that will actually has a terminal emulator and things like that. And the only reason I didn't want to run that a lot is that hold on, Noah. Hold on. The reason I didn't want to run that is because it messes with your camera and a few other functions that I need the phone, because you have to run the NetHunter as a rooted phone, which is also extra security.
And when you root your phone, you might brick it also, so be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Noah, what's your question, Noah? Don't be shy. If you have a question, go ahead. Why are you whispering?
Because he doesn't want to wake up his mom and dad.
Oh. Okay. What's? But if you use silent OS. What's? Noah, have you got a question, or you just want to say hi? Okay. Hi. Welcome back. Okay.
Welcome back.
He should be sleeping.
He should be sleeping, yeah.
I should be sleeping right now, but I
he's
have to drive across town.
He's jumping on without permission. It's Switch's fault. No, I'm just kidding. But
what? What are you blaming me for, man?
Because you're too popular, Switch. That's
I know. You got so popular. Even though I got to say hi to Switch.
I'm trying to figure out where in my NAS to drop a file that I'll find it later.
I don't know.
I thought I dropped files up here already for this, though. Oh, yeah, okay. There we go. That's where I want it.
Okay. All right.
All right. But with that, I think I need to go because I need to go let a friend's dog out.
Oh, joy.
Oh, yeah.
Have fun. I had to babysit a couple cats.
Have a good night, Switch.
When I get back, I'll jump back on, but that'll take an hour.
No, I won't be here at 1:30 now. I'll be a little bit longer, but not too much longer.
Yeah, and I'll be doing another live stream approximately 11 and a half hours from now. So.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
All right. All right, guys. We'll see you guys later.
All right, Tom.
Okay.
Take care.
See ya.
Good night, Tom. Yeah, I had to click off on the 6-pack deal. So.
Hey, TOS.
I come home. Yes. I gotta have a few brews when I get off.
Yes.
You know how Microsoft will install apps on your Windows machine without you having to install them? What I'm trying to say is there's this little thing about Windows 10 that I don't think any of you know about. Basically, without you knowing, and I saw a video on this. Let me just see. How did this go? Oh, I remember now. Basically, you know how you install apps like Candy Crush Saga and all that, which most Windows 10s come with? Well, without you realizing it, a few minutes later, they're back on the computer. Basically, Microsoft will install those without you realizing it. I figured out a way to turn that off. I had to go into the registry and go to an option that said silent apps install. I had to put the 1 to a 0. That stopped it immediately.
Okay.
Right.
Interesting.
But is it going to stick after an update?
Right, yeah.
It should do after an update, maybe it'll reset the registry again.
It's like a cat and mouse game, you know.
It is, absolutely.
You might escape one update cycle, maybe one update cycle, but by a second or third one, it's back.
Well, and the other thing I've said too is when they do the major updates, the reason why they take so long, and this is my opinion, I haven't any documented scientific whatever.
Yeah.
But I think they're scraping your machine also to see everything they want to see and turn on what they want to turn on or whatever. I mean, think about it. You know, there's no reason that hard drive should be running this hard for as long and takes forever to do. You know, they may be doing a pretty good size release, but there's no reason it should take as long, if not longer, than what the initial install of the whole OS did. Unless they're looking through the whole machine and scraping the thing and then doing the update. You know, I mean, that's my opinion. That's what I think, because if you, like you're saying here too, Ricky, you see stuff getting turned back on, or you see hearing, whatever, and then that's when all of a sudden if you pay attention to this, and here's the other reason why I think it is, if you pay attention, you'll also see more and more apps tuned to whatever you're using on your system and what you're practicing, because they're looking at your personal data.
Yeah, well, exactly. And if they somehow turn those options that I turned off back on, I'll just turn them all off back in, because I'm gonna fight against this telemetry until I give up.
But the reality of it is even if you click that little button, just remember they're the ones that put that button there. You're never fully ever going to turn it off. It's always probably going to be running in the background or whatever.
Someone should make
limit the service or limit what you see.
Someone should make a counter update app. So say you tweak it, no more telemetry, do an update, and it turns it on, and then you click that app and it turns it off. You know what I mean? Some kind of
there have been guys that have made that. The problem is that Microsoft does something to counteract that.
It's cat and mouse.
You don't have these problems in Linux, though, do you? You don't come across these cat and mouse games in Linux, do you?
You know, the plain and
I don't think so. That we're aware of. You know,
the plain and simple fact of the matter is this: if you put an OS, if you turn on your machine and the OS is taking information, and then you have to go in and you have to get into a registry, or you have to use a command line to shut stuff off. And I'm going to go and look at it, whether it be a day, a week, or a month, or a year after the fact, and everything that I shut off is turned back on. There's no reason that OS belongs on anything that I own. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And we can and for those of us who out of necessity need to use Windows 10, or like TOS does, uses it as a backup, he understands those risks. But from my perspective, you know what? I'm not going to spend time even talking about it, because the minute that happens, it's off my machine and it's gone forever. Plain and simple.
I think, to me, the only way that Windows 10 can be secure is if they actually make a master on-off switch, like they should have done a long time ago.
And they never, but they never will.
No.
You need to
Windows can't be secure.
Because there is money in data collection.
They will not ever do that. It doesn't make how many people scream from the mountaintops. They will never do that.
That's exactly
right.
The kid wants to say.
I watch David Linux and other stuff. I don't know if you guys do, but I mean, there was at one stage there he had a video where he had Windows 10 on a laptop that he bought, and he was complaining that the indicator light, the hard drive indicator light, was constant. It was just going all the time, and he said, and then he took that off and he installed Linux on there. I think it could have been Ubuntu or something, and nothing. That the hard drive light not even on at all. So that this is what Windows does to a computer. It just keeps it constantly working all the time.
And I'll bet you any money that it's actually the life of them shortened too with the hardware, because the hardware itself is going to wear out sooner.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to. I mean,
I had that my PC work with the latest Windows patch. It had nagged me for several weeks.
Right.
And that morning, it took 4 hours before I could use the computer again.
4 hours. Wow.
Jesus. Noah, excuse me. Noah, if you have a question, just type it in the chat if you can't talk. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, just go ahead.
You got a question, say it now. You got the floor. What did you want to ask? Or what did you want to say, Noah?
This is my public email. Anyone can email me.
I would not type it in the chat.
Don't put that.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Bad omen.
Mark Yates has brought up a point saying that Microsoft, they're installing apps on your computer without your knowledge or consent. Guys, you need to back up. You need to back up to the first instant you turn on a brand new Windows 10 installation, be it a new machine or a new install. The minute you hit that EULA and you agree to it, that's the type of garbage that you give consent to. You can, a Windows 10 user can never ever, in my mind, use the excuse that Windows is putting things on my machine without my knowledge or consent. You may not know about it that instant, but you do know that they're going to do it if you read the EULA. Secondly, without your consent, your consent comes from saying, yes, I agree to this NLicer users agreement. Let's get started.
There's I had a friend of mine. He was a preacher in Florida when I lived in Florida, and we would talk about businesses and like in general. He would say to me, companies have a right to make a profit. They have a right to make as much money as they can, but not at the cost of raping you, as it were. And that always stuck with me. Where
Microsoft charge you money for the operating system, and they steal all your information. Facebook is honest in that regards. We know Facebook steals. If something's free, you're the product.
Yes,
that's right.
That's Windows.
Right.
Yeah, we I mean, that's right. I agree. You are the product. Like Facebook is free. What Matthias is saying is correct. You are the product because it's free. You install it from the Play Store or the App Store, whatever. It's free. You're the product. But you pay for Windows. You are not the product in Windows. You're paying for that operating system, right?
True.
But you don't own it. You're renting it. You're leasing it.
No, I agree with that, Joe. You don't own it. But, I mean, the point he's putting across is absolutely right. You're paying money for an operating system. You should be able to use it. We get Linux for free. We can use it privately as we like, right? I mean,
exactly.
Well, I suppose with YouTube, Spudley says, Spudley says, I told someone if something's free, you're the product. I suppose with YouTube, I'm the product, and then they pay me with the AdSense. But there's nothing sinister or hiding. That's up front. Does it make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And I mean, they provide the free server space and the time, and that's fair.
Yeah.
But Google was up front with that. There was no hiding or anything sinister about it. Yep. They should have been more upfront when this whole apocalypse thing started a couple years ago, and then they were trying to make changes and not telling everyone before. That's where they goofed. But with Microsoft, just put an on-off switch, man. Master on. Now we go back. If there was a viable mass-marketed Linux desktop, I don't think Microsoft would have done what they did with the data.
Yeah.
Because everybody would have went straight to ABC Linux or whatever. So
there is a master on-off to Windows. Nobody ever thinks about doing it.
Yeah. Don't use it.
You leave it off.
I know.
That too. But I'm saying if you got to use it, the on-off switch is just don't go online with it like I do on mine.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
I use mine just for counting it.
Yeah. Right.
Well, and that's the way to shut it off, because then they can't get into the computer. They can't and it's basically old school computing back from the 90s.
Well, see, but okay. Thanks, Noah. Noah says like, comment, thank you. I think that's what you're. Thank you, Noah. You should be in bed. Seriously.
I'm telling your parents.
Don't mess with the Italian boys.
I know there's no school, maybe, but Noah, seriously, Anyway.
Could I ask you a question? Matthias.
Oh, yeah.
Matthias. I'm sorry. Matthias, where are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, Sweden.
Oh, Sweden. Okay, yeah, cool.
I'm from Florida.
The land of
Florida, yeah.
I'm from way south Chicago. Chicago Heights.
Isn't Coding Commanders from Florida? I think Coding Commanders
is
from Florida too, isn't she?
CC, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Joe, you know where I'm from.
Oh, yeah.
Matthias is from the land of Koenigsegg Automobile.
Yeah.
And Joe from Minneapolis, I had a lot of surgery done there in Rochester at Mayo Clinic back in the 70s. I went through a major car accident.
My God.
Oh God, yeah, I was hit the right side of my face ripped off. And all
is that right? Oh, geez, that's
oh
no
God,
good.
I was 12 years old, 73
Wow.
when it happened.
Wow.
And go figure, I drive a truck for a living.
Thank
Yeah.
God
Yeah,
you made it.
So
Wow.
very familiar with Minnesota, Rochester. So
Well, I'll tell you what, Tim, you look very good anyway, considering the circumstances.
about a 57 like TOS. So.
Okay.
God bless.
So I was going to say, TOS,
yes.
if we did make a one Linux operating system to combat everything, could you just imagine the arguments and all, whose desktop are we using and
why did they pick Debian? Why don't they use it? Why? Well, you know what? Go ahead, all the developers argue and let Windows kick your kernels. There, you happy now?
Kick your kernels.
Well, I gotta say, TOS, back a little while ago. You said what works for you, what's stable, keep it going, and stop jumping around. Hey, Derek is awesome. Derek is awesome. He loves the distro tube and check everything out. He lets you know what's going on. And he's our guinea pig for all this stuff. I mean, he's using all this and he's letting us know.
Look, I sympathize. I used to do it, but at some point I got to say, gee, I got too many bottles of aspirin and Tylenol after a while,
Well, he said this last stream he was going to stop hopping. I said we're going to remind you of that too. Yeah. But I will tell you, Windows, it's hard to get off. It's like anything else. It's like those comfortable pair of old shoes that you finally got to give up and go into something else. But it's really challenging. And every once in a while, I get a little bit bugged, or feel like I don't know how to describe the feeling I have. I feel like frustrated, maybe a little bit too is a good word, because I had specific design software I did for drawing home plans and whatever. I mean, very expensive software or whatever, and I still have it. I don't need it anymore because I don't do that, although I would probably do it more as a hobby. I have a house plan site that wanted to buy my plans because I did accessibility work, that kind of thing. I do use SketchUp, which I use that on that computer. I use it very rarely anymore like I used to, and I miss that, the convenience of just being able to go and open up and do what I want to do sometimes. But the reality of it is I think when you're weighing out the brunt of what I do every day to this, and there was somebody who said today, there was a live stream that was going on today when they were talking about the same thing, and he said, I asked him what he thought about Linux, and basically it was, well, if I could do the audio production and whatever, well, there's a lot of people that do, but I think what it comes down to is a lot of people don't want to take the time to learn it. And
yes, it'll come, yeah. And by the way, Noah is my new marketing kid.
No, Linux is awesome. All you got to do is just figure out how to use it. It will just work. Whatever distro, whatever base that you want to use, whether it's Arch, Debian, Solus.
The funny part,
it's not just the distro itself; it's the software too. It's the learning curve that goes along with that. A lot of people just don't want to go through the hassle.
It taught me more than Windows did. Trust me, or Mac or Apple. I love Linux.
This is where ego and pride should be put to the side. Let's say Linux Smith is chosen to represent Linux for the mass market.
Okay, Linux Smith's awesome.
Let's say, then Debian is, blah, 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 and Arch is blah, 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 Let's say Linux Smith scores out of the box, everything works, and they start making money. There's room for more than one mass-marketed Linux computer.
True. Very true.
But the point is, here, and I've said this before, my biggest fear where Microsoft is concerned to shut down Linux is getting their money into the pockets of the OEM manufacturers for the hardware, because if they get them to shut that down, this is all moot point to be talking about any of it, because you're not going to be able to run it anyway. They've tried that once before and they caught some flack and they backed off a little bit. And that's why I'm still a little suspicious about them wrapping their arms around Linux right now too, because I'm wondering if that isn't where they're heading. Because if they shut down the CPUs or whatever, or any of the hardware manufacturers that have to run this stuff, we're dead in the water. It doesn't matter what you do.
That's when I hope a company like Google's Google says not so fast.
Yeah.
Linux is everywhere. That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Way to go.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of apps in Windows, because there's a guy on that does videos for Linux. I can't remember his name now, but I did a similar video to what he did, is migrating people to Linux. Now, there are a lot of cross-platform applications that you can use in Windows, and if you get people using those, right, once they start using those, then they can come to Linux, and they're already using them. LibreOffice is a good example. Firefox and Google Chrome are both used, although Google Chrome's proprietary. It installs easy in Linux now. You've got also Thunderbird, you've got GIMP, and you've got all these other programs that people could be using. And then once they get used to that, you bring them to Linux, they're using them anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
And you just brought that up about LibreOffice. I mean, look at it. It's right there that you can do anything on LibreOffice. You can. They pay for with Microsoft Word or whatever that program is that they use.
LibreOffice is awesome.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And just for the record, as long as Matthias did that, it's touchdigital.com/Matthias. I'll take a Michael moment for him since you bought his shirt.
Another good alternative.
I will say one thing about Linux that Windows has a huge advantage over. Linux is not good at the gaming area just yet.
I'm not a gamer, so it doesn't really matter to me.
We can go
not yet.
I just beg to differ. I think it depends on what you're playing. I'm perfectly happy playing the games I'm playing on Linux. And
I like Super Tuts Kart, but it ain't the Master Chief. Come on.
Hey, I have a question here. Noah looks like he's writing on what, like a Surface Pro?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah. Noah, you know what? You better be careful. Your mom and dad may have the parental thing.
Hi guys.
Hello.
My daughter says, "Hey, get in the camera, say hello."
Hello.
Noah, better be careful.
Put your face on there.
Yeah, we see a hand.
See a hand, yeah.
Say hello. Come on. No, come on. Say hello. Come on, they're here.
She's doing like a puppet thing, you know.
Oh my God. She's the 16-year-old.
What happens if Noah's mom and
Pongo.
What happens if Noah's parents have the parental on that to see what he's doing and what time he's doing it and stuff?
They're probably asleep. They're probably asleep, right?
Yeah, they'll check it. They'll check it in the morning.
Yeah. All right. Well, who's this toss today? Why is he allowing you? Hey, family-friendly channel, you know. But I know there's no school, so okay, all right.
But 4 out of 5 people suffer from diarrhea.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
And only one enjoys it.
Oh God.
Just talking about when you say Ricky mentioned the gaming thing in Linux. Now I would have to think that there's a lot more people out there that are using Linux or using an operating system just for your average use for emails, YouTube, Facebook, and all that. There's got to be a lot more people doing that than what there is gaming. No doubt about it.
I'm one of them.
And there's a market there to be tapped into. We just got to figure out how to do it.
I say the Linux, in my opinion, that should represent Linux itself is Ubuntu Mate.
No argument there.
Yeah.
I would agree.
You can install whatever desktop you want. So you say Ubuntu comes with GNOME.
True.
But don't use it. Install KDE. Install Cinnamon. Whatever
Very
you
good
want.
point. Yeah. No, that's a very
Why
good
argue what desktop is best? Just use what you want.
Right. That's exactly.
That is what is so great about Linux. It supersedes Windows. It supersedes Mac. In my opinion.
And the one
think about it. Can you put Windows on an ISO or on a flash drive and run it just to see if you like it? You can't.
No,
you can't.
Yeah.
No. And again, the friends that I met through Linux with you guys would never happen with Windows or Mac.
Absolutely not. Yeah, you're right there, Tim. It's a good point.
Linux, to me, again, my opinion, just supersedes Windows and Mac. I'm all Linux. I mean, I do have the Windows 7 machine still running on one of my other machines, but I also have my docking thing that I talked to you about a long time ago, Colin, that I put MX into it. Instead of dual booting, I'll just, if I want to use the USB to hit the MX on that or any Linux distro on it, and I still have the Windows 7, like you said before, TOS. You know, sometimes you have to use Windows for certain things, which I have to. But Linux to me,
it works.
Whatever distro that you use. I mean, I'm not Arch. I'm not with Gentoo. I'm not. Yes, definitely there, Matthias. Definitely. TOS to me, TOS is awesome to me. You know, you guys have became good friends, and
thank you.
You just do not get this with Windows or Mac.
I cannot agree more.
You know,
to me supersedes it all.
To be fair, I haven't invited only Windows users to, and to be fair, I probably should, because they are people also.
Oh yes, I agree.
You know, I don't. Maybe we don't see because they haven't given the opportunity.
But TOS, for many years that we've been using computers, and I basically was a computer illiterate until I was 37, 38 years old.
Yeah.
And there's never in all those years, Windows have a community like you guys do in Linux.
Well, maybe we should start one. Maybe it's time.
But Microsoft has a great community. They have Patch Tuesdays.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me say that again.
Yeah, I said Microsoft have a great community. They have Patch Tuesdays.
Patch Tuesdays. Yeah, there you go.
So they can patch things up with the community.
And the thing too, again, TOS, with the terminal. I never learned how to use the command line with Windows. I mean, I can figure it out now. But with Linux, I can figure it out. I can go and type something in, get something to work. If you want some kind of, whatever to install it.
Linux in the last couple of years, it's jumped. It's the quality, not all Linux. I mean, I hate it when people say, well, Linux is easy. Really? Like Gentoo? No, some Linux is easy. Some. Linux is stable. Really? Like Arch? Some. That's why Windows got to be told the truth up front and let them decide,
And what I mean by that, TOS, is that it taught me personally more so how to use a computer compared to what Windows or Mac did. I'm not a Mac guy. I'm not an Apple Mac guy. I mean, again, my daughter has to use it for school because that's their operating system, homework, this, that, and everything else with e-books and all that other stuff. But what Linux has taught me is just how to dig in and get something to dig in, get it to work.
Exactly.
Well, here's, I'd like to just bring this point up, Tim. That's great, and Linux has done that for me. But from my aspect, I like to tinker. Don't get me wrong, tinkering is cool, and I will try to find answers to questions that I don't even have yet, and that's a good thing. But from a pure user perspective, you know what? I don't want to have to dig into anything. I want to turn my box on. I want to turn on, and I don't want problem.
I'm out there, Tim. I understand that point too because I deal with this with drivers that I deal with. To dig in to get something to work, and when you accomplish that, and it does work, you could sit there and say, I did it. I made it work. Yep. Now I know how to fix the next problem. If the next problem comes,
some of us though do not want to invest the time into that accomplishment because we may have other accomplishments that we're running after.
If I have,
I understand.
That's a fair point.
And they pay for it. It just should work.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Windows, I mean,
so I can learn and work, do what I should do and nothing else. Then on my private computer. I have run Linux Mint since 2013, and it just works.
Yes.
But the times when it doesn't work, it's because I have done something, and I have. I learned from that.
But
you learn. That's how you learn. There are times in the past I've done stuff I should not have done.
Yeah.
Learning Linux as a Windows user, but that's okay. I kind of figured it was, but that's okay. That's how I learned.
Because I have administrative privilege.
Yeah.
I'm root. I can mess up. If I was just a regular user, that would never have happened.
Right.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I agree.
I say, in my opinion, when it comes to Linux, the one thing that Linux has over Windows is growth and diversity.
Thank you. You said it better than I did. Thank you for saying it. Sure. Yes, it does.
You know, I have.
I guess that's what I was trying to say, basically.
I have this nail file here on the, and I was just thinking. To me, technology is like one big long nail. It's part of your body. So I file it down, and to use an analogy, I file it down. I file down the technology to keep what's useful for me.
Exactly.
The nail, the technology is normal in everyday life, but I file it down to make it useful for me. And right now, it's really.
And everybody's different. And
everybody's different, right?
Whatever their tasks are, and like you were saying, whatever programs they need to run that are just totally mind blowing to me.
Right.
I don't use them, so I don't worry about it. But like what you're saying, to make it work for you.
Right.
And
by
Linux,
the way,
Linux allows you to do that.
If there are Windows users watching this, don't be shy, please, because I want to wrap this up soon. Don't be scared or shy. If you're a newbie to Linux, say hello, because that's how I can tell if I'm, I figure after 8 years I have connected with some of you. But if there's some of you out there who want to say something you don't, please do. Just say hi. Yeah.
We complain about Microsoft and Windows, but they have done many good things also.
Yes, they have.
Yes.
If it weren't for Windows, I mean, I was a baseball player bowler, and of course I'm older. I can't do those things anymore, and computers became my hobby. So, but Windows is what taught me how to get started with everything, and when I got into Linux just kind of opened the Pandora's box for me.
Yeah, that's right.
But the reality is the majority of Linux users, I think, started out on Windows at one point in their life.
Of course, we all did. Sure.
So, so it's not like everybody hated Windows out of the gate.
No, I still don't. Yeah. I don't like the Windows 10. I got Windows 7 on the other.
Well, that's the other thing. It's not the OS. It's the business model behind it.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right.
It's a nice OS.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Linux just gives you, like you said before, and it's all been set out there in the past. It just gives you the freedom to do what you need to do.
Yeah.
And how you want to do it.
And I would have thought
without any restrictions, basically.
I would have thought, Toss, that you had quite a few Windows followers because you sort of present yourself as both anyway. So I would have thought you had a few Windows followers.
If I do, I don't get enough. It's just like I don't get enough emails or messages. I mean. I've been somewhat selfish. I've been doing a lot more Linux than the Windows.
Right, yeah.
So part of it is because I've gotten so comfortable with Linux, and that may be perfectly fair to me, but it's not fair to them.
But a lot of your titles do have from a Windows user.
Right, right. That's true.
You've always had those titles, so I would have thought that you had a bit of a following.
That's true, but if I'm doing 90% Linux or more than less Windows, then why should they feel it's comfortable? It's not their fault.
Mm-hmm. True.
I should try to do half and half, and I haven't. But that's how good Linux is. So
yeah, but the other side of the coin too is like you just said. If you're using Linux the majority of the time, is it really being truthful and fair to do half just to appease the other part of it? The reality is just do what you feel. You need to do to a point. And
I enjoy using both. I still do. Yeah. Especially gaming.
I like the look of Windows 10. I think if somebody brought out a Linux operating system that looked exactly like Windows 10, I would use it.
There is one called Ubuntu.
You know what? Tosh, you said this for a long time ago. I think the whole big differences with Windows, just my opinion again, with Linux, is the updates. It takes forever to update with Windows. Linux, boom, 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 you're done.
Absolutely, yeah.
But see, that's my point, though, Colin, is Windows 10, in saying that, in fairness, I always said they took Ubuntu's lead there with the tiling and stuff like that. So.
Absolutely, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. If there was a distro that was built identical or nearly as identical as you can get it, I think you'd have probably a lot more people more apt to want to switch because then it would feel comfortable.
Absolutely.
And have names that they could recognize too.
Yeah.
You look at the conglomerate too with even Apple. I mean, I have an old machine that will work consistently with Linux. And if you want to go ahead and spend $5,000 on a computer, my God, I could build a computer for $1,000, and it would be worth $5,000. You know, and with Linux, you can make your old stuff work. It works like a charm.
Yep.
Just know what your hardware is. I mean, it's very low on resources.
But it works. That's the thing. It's not just for old hardware anymore. It works.
Exactly. But it works, and it works phenomenally, in my opinion. It just works great. And I do try to get some of my friends. Hey, check this out. You know, they're just like they're flabbergasted by what they're trying to do, and it's
it's new territory, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, it's like when I got to go to another town, I got to figure out what roadway I'm going to too. You know, same deal. You know? Uncharted territory. So
all right, it is 1 a.m., so we're going to wrap this up here soon. Like we did that one time, I got some more one-liners to share with you guys for some fun.
All right, make me laugh, Tom.
That being said, anyone in the laugh who has wanted to ask a question, say hello. We're shy. Go ahead and ask. One of us will, as I read, I'm sure someone will catch it. Once again, thank you to everyone who supports this channel. It's been a rough couple of years keeping this thing going, but thank you. It's surviving.
It will continue on my part, my friend.
Thank you. I believe it.
Definitely.
Check out the links below. I do offer. Someone asked about does Linux have decals and such. Yes, I don't. I have T-shirts on Teespring. But anyway, nowadays you can find anything with Linux on. That's how popular it is, at least with some members of the community. So
definitely going to order some. I need some of those T-shirts.
All right. So
anyway, TOS, it's been nice meeting you all, but I gotta get going. Okay.
Sounds good. I'll catch you next time. Thank you. All right.
Good. All right.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Let's do some one-liners. All right. Let me start reading these. I got a few, and then any more questions or whatever in the chat. Don't be shy, especially if you're new. Okay. All right. Let's get started. These are one-liners off the web. Thank you. These are one-liners off the web. Just something that I did last week, 2 weeks ago, was pretty good stuff. These may not be as good, but I'll let you guys decide. Save the whales. Collect the whole set. A day without sunshine is like night. On the other hand, you have different fingers.
Oh, Lord.
This is a good one. I just got lost in thought. It was unfamiliar territory. Oh, okay.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah. I wonder how much deeper the ocean would be without sponges. Ha ha.
Oh, my God.
Honk if you love peace and quiet. That's a good one. I like that. That was a good. That's one for the good writer.
There we go.
Atheism is a non-profit organization. Get it?
Yeah.
Prophet. All right. He who laughs last thinks slowest.
They had to catch up to it, Todd.
Right.
I don't know. Did I laugh last time?
Yes. Depression is merely anger without enthusiasm. Okay. Yes, Noah. Go ahead.
I'm a Windows and Linux user, but the laptop that I have Linux on, the screen broke, but I'm gonna replace it sometime.
Cool. Awesome. A dual booter. All right. Nice, Noah. All right. Let's move on and we'll wrap it up. Don't breathe into the mic, Noah. Okay. I know. Okay.
Is there something white on my nose?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, it was your fingers.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying right here.
That's a zit.
That is it. I don't know.
I was playing with paints earlier, so.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains it then. Okay.
The paint drop.
I just noticed that.
Okay, that's okay. Where were we? Eagles may soar. Eagles may soar, but weasels don't get sucked into jet engines.
Yeah.
Borrow money from a pessimist. They don't expect it back. If Barbie is so popular, why do you have to buy her friends? Let's see what else we have here. Support bacteria. They're the only culture some people have. Ooh.
That don't sound too good.
Yeah, really. A conclusion is the place where you get tired of thinking. Okay, all right. Bills travel through the mail at twice the speed of checks.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, really. Let's see. I know you like that one. Let's see here.
Colin, you crack me up.
To succeed in politics, it is often necessary to rise above your principles.
That's you got him in the first place.
Yeah. And finally, for tonight, you never really learn to swear until you learn to drive.
There you go. And I'm known for that.
I have a joke for everyone.
What's that?
The Pope died and a lawyer died at the same time. When they met St. Peter, he took the Pope around, and finally he got to a very small, nice little cottage, and the Pope said, that will be fine. And as he was taking the lawyer down, he didn't go nearly as far, and this great big mansion was there with all kinds of amenities. And he said, St. Peter, this is for me? He said, yeah, I've had lots of popes here, but you're the first lawyer.
TOS.
Yeah, Noah.
Can I be a moderator on the channel?
No, not tonight.
Okay.
Okay. Bada bing, bada boom, Heather. Yes. Yeah.
My father used to say about my mom. He used to crack me up. My dad was Spanish. My mom's Italian.
Wow.
Look at this guy.
That's the combination I have, TOS. And
nice.
My father, he's passed now. I mean, but he used to say, and they named me Tim. Go figure. My dad used to say, Tim, your mom means well, but she'll piss off the Pope. Yeah. And Joe, you understand where I'm coming from there.
Yeah.
But it was all meant in good. It was all meant in good because she meant well, but she just aggravated you. That's just the Italian. That's what it was all about.
There was an old joke about asking God for help. There's a rainstorm coming. There's a flood coming. There's a guy and the water is up to his knees or his waist, and the boat comes by to help him, and the guy says, now have faith in God, he will save me. Hours later, now the boat is up higher, on his body. The boat comes back, and God says, no, I know God will save me. Now the water's up to his neck, and he insists that God will save him. A miracle. Well, he dies. He passes away. He goes to heaven. The guy says, God, I had so much faith. God says, you moron, I sent the boat 3 times. Anyway, what a peek.
So I got one for you, TOS. I got one here. I work with a couple of Irish, so one of them shared this one. Recently at an Irish wedding reception, someone yelled, all the married men, please stand next to the one person who has made your life worth living. The bartender was nearly crushed to death.
Jeez. Oh, my God. I saw that coming. Well, you know what? I'll drink to that.
So this guy passes away, and unfortunately he goes to hell. He doesn't make it to heaven. He goes to hell, and he gets down there, and Satan's giving him the tour. And he says, okay, Satan says to him, well, you got your choice of 3 different rooms that you can spend the rest of eternity in. Said, first, let's take a look at the first room. They looked in the first room, and the first room had guys laying tar, in hot, sweaty hell. They were putting tar down on the road. Said, boy, I don't know if I want this one. Go to the second room. Second room is that people were painting red paint on the walls of hell, and you had to do that for eternity. Said, boy, I don't know if I want to do that. I hate painting. Go to the third room, open the door up. There's about 7 or 8 guys standing in the room. They've all got a cup of coffee in their hand. Only thing is that they're standing in what appears to be sewage up to their knees. He thinks, you know what, standing around in this room wouldn't be so bad. I get used to the smell. Tell Satan I'll take this room. Satan pushes him in, shuts the door behind him. About 5 minutes later, Satan comes back to the door and opens it up and says, "Okay, guys, coffee break is over. Back on your handstand."
Zing.
Yeah, it's perceptions, eh? Perceptions can be bad in life.
Well, that's what they say, Colin. We have to remain family friendly here, but I can say this is the difference between a brown noser and a turd head. It's called depth perception.
Now, is Noah gone? Because I've got a message on here.
He says he got discovered by his mom.
Yeah. Oh, right before that, I was gonna put a message in chat to say, Noah, was that a knock on your door?
Yeah. I guess it was. God bless the children. God bless the kids.
So, someplace in the world tonight, Noah's getting the ever-loving crap kicked out of him by his mother.
What were you watching? Well, hopefully the mom or dad will see this tomorrow thinking, "Oh, honey, this was funny." Shut that off.
Give him credit. At least he's
he's
interested in Linux.
Yeah, that kid may be the next Bill Gates or the next Linus Torvalds. You just never know. Yeah.
Can only hope he said I was watching Total OS today and not TOS. That might not sound too good.
TOS, it ain't too bad. TOS.
Let's see, TOS. My initials are TSO. So
there we go.
There you go.
Yeah. Noah says it was a knock. Noah. Yeah, I wonder why. Knock, knock. Go to bed. All right, last call for comments, and I'm going to wrap this up for tonight. This was fun.
Yes, it was. Thank you again for having me on, Joe and Colin.
No worries. It's been great.
Tim, I don't know your name, the other guy.
Me?
No, not you. That's
Matthias. Oh, no, the other gentleman. Yep,
the gentleman with the computers in the back.
Oh, Dale.
Dale.
Mr. D.
Yeah,
Mr. D.
Nice to meet you, Dale.
Dale.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, he's got his basement rigged up like the bridge of the Starship Enterprise. All those computers. It's so cool. Yeah.
He's ready to rock and roll, man.
Yeah.
We passed the mom test. Noah says mom is fine with it. Thank you, mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, you're welcome to stop by.
Where are you from there, Daniel?
Dale,
I'm sorry, Dale. Where are you from?
Dale?
Yeah, I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm actually probably a 4-hour drive south from Switch in state. Okay. I'm down near Gettysburg.
Okay.
All right.
Well, nice to meet you, sir.
Nice
to meet you.
Oh.
Nice. I'm not too far from Pittsburgh here in Ohio, but anyway.
I delivered military mail in Pittsburgh.
Except for me and Matthias, we live on completely different areas.
Yes.
Well,
I'm down under.
This again, TOS. This is the whole thing. Everybody from what you guys do with this community with Linux is just incredible. You know.
It has in the last, I first started with Linux in 2006. I was curious. I read something, tired of Windows XP, try Ubuntu. What the freak is Ubuntu? At first.
Well, I got started,
But I started it. Stuck with it. I learned, and from then it's I just learned more and more, and here I am. So
it's awesome. It's awesome that we can get guys like Colin from Fresno, California, on once in a while.
Yeah.
Do you know why Linus Torvalds had to move to USA?
What was that, Matthias?
I said, do you know why Linus Torvalds had to move to USA?
Why? Why did he move here?
Well, he started Linux, so he was never finished.
Ah.
He's from Finland, Finnish.
Yeah. Yes, right, Finnish. Yeah. That is correct. Yeah. He was never finished. But
You can tell.
Sorry, we're all slow. Yeah.
It took me a while.
Speaking of video,
that was a good one.
What time is it for you there, Matthias?
Lost. What do you say, TOS?
What time is it there for you, Matthias?
6 a.m.
7:15 a.m.
Holy moly!
Ah, see, you're fresh as a pup. Here it's like 1 a.m. You know, but no.
For me, it's 1 p.m. So.
Oh, shut up, Colin. No, just kidding.
I'm ready to have lunch.
He's ready to have lunch. So here we go with the freaking food again. Well, you know what? I got my crackers ready, so yeah. And guess what? It's reduced fat, too, so yeah.
TOS.
Yeah, Noah.
He's back.
What's his name between...
Poltergeist.
Yeah.
TOS.
Mm-hmm.
What's the gentleman's name between Colin and Joe?
Between me.
Dale?
Looking at
Oh, yeah. I like your setup.
See?
Oh, awesome, thanks.
Kid approved, adult approved, you know? So when they make the next Star Trek sequel, they should use his background.
No, you'll be on again. You will be on again next week, Friday,
Hey,
right?
TOS. Hey, TOS. TOS. My wife says it's time for me to get off the computer and go to sleep.
Okay, I'll come out and play tomorrow.
You'll definitely be on next Friday, correct?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay.
As far as I know, I got to do the next private one. The reward shows for the supporters will probably be building the perfect Android phone. To hear that, you'll have to chip in. No, but I'll make them public too. And once I do the reward video for the people who want to support, if you can, we'll have a private chat, and then I'll make it public. But I don't know what other rewards to do. I can't fly and see you guys personally, so.
Gotcha.
Well, but yeah, Dobry, hello. Mill, hello.
I know you're going to get off here soon. I did meant to ask you earlier how that your private session goes. Because I totally missed it. There was just no way I was going to be able to get on it.
Well, we did one tonight earlier. We only, it wasn't that many people on, granted.
I mean, you sent me a link. I just couldn't get on.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I only sent it out to like 10 people because I think Hangouts has a limit of 10, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Sent it out to 10, but I knew half the people like are overseas or sleeping in different time zones, Right. But we had a private. I mean, it's still family friendly, right. But it's one of those things where it's a private chat. But if we say something that is so private that it has to stay private, then we'll talk. We'll say we have to say, and then I'll delete it. I'll just delete the video. But usually, it doesn't come to that. But we talked about State of Linux 2018. Okay. Almost like what we had at chat tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, State of Linux. We had, me and Tim, and I think Steven, who jumped off, had something to say. And then I had something to say about it has been a successful year at the Linux Desktop, but not in the way that you think. Now, for that, I'll post that later. It's kind of a teaser there. But that's what it was about. Just a little extra something that people wouldn't normally hear or maybe see in a public chat, maybe, sort of. Again, it's just a reward. It's just a thank you. That's all it is. So,
many thanks on my part for all of you for what you guys do.
Thank you.
On my part, I'm totally appreciative for basically all the knowledge and the info that all you gentlemen give to me.
Thank you.
With what I do here with my systems, and it's again greatly appreciated.
Speaking of the Linux community, Brian Lunduk has started posting his videos publicly. He has them on Patreon. Yeah, his weekly shows. Okay. Once he gives it to his people, his assistants, like the reward, which is fine. He makes them public like a week later. Some of them like a day or days later.
Right.
He posted to them first, which is fair. They stepped up to help out. He stepped up to do that.
Yeah.
But now is it a paywall anymore? Not really, because he is making it public. Just not that day. But to the people who watch him, does it really matter? You know, because it's new to them. You know, it's just a thought. But thank you, Mark. Yes, I did see that. Yeah, we have a total of 6 patrons on the Toss Today Patreon page. So anyway, Linux rules, Mill. Yes, it does.
And I still contribute to his Patreon, but when he made his videos private, I just stopped watching. I like the format of the YouTube channel. When it comes up, so when he stopped releasing it,
well,
I stopped watching.
I think Brian had reached a point. I haven't spoken to him, or I don't know his family, or I think he's married a couple kids. But I think Brian had probably reached a point where he could no longer do his videos for free, or almost free, as it were. I mean, he had sponsors, but I think he reached a point where he could no longer do his stuff at his rate of pay, if that makes any sense.
Right.
So he had to do something, and my guess is either stop what he's doing or do something else that was controversial. That's the feeling I get.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
And he did say in the one video that he would find a way down the line to fix it, and he has. You know, he can now do his job for a rate of pay that is comfortable for him, and still makes the videos public. Now, I still think he's nuts, and I say that in a loving way to Brian, to do a live weekly show with an audience for $4,000 a month. I don't know how. Unless he has tremendous sponsorships. In addition to that, the $4,000 a month's impossible.
I have contributed to him for a long time, and I still do.
Yes,
I think he makes good content.
Yeah.
And I will continue to tribute.
Yeah.
But I think, it wasn't the right way to do. But it's his choice.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, maybe he should have been more honest if it's more up front.
But how should people follow him? They don't know what he's doing. They only get 2-minute clips.
Maybe what he should have done is started this or thought about this from the beginning. Like when he had 5,000 subscribers, and say, look, I love doing this, guys, but I thank you, but at some point, if I don't get enough AdSense or sponsors, I may have to do the other thing. I think because it was such a shock, you know, boom, like, whoa, and people are like, wait, you know.
When you don't get publicity.
Yeah.
So, if he had 5,000 subscribers, he made it private. They continue to support him, yes, but and the newcomers, how should they find him? How does he grow to 10,000, 20?
Well, he did say he did a state of the Linux, well, not state of the Linux, state of the channel, state of his channel, and he knew he was going to lose subscribers, but it seems like with the subscribers that stay with him and the loss rate ratio has balanced it out, that he's got enough of the income to keep his channel going and to have a live studio audience.
His revenue actually grew, he said.
Yeah, it went up. It did actually go up. His subscribers went down, but his revenue went up. That's what happened.
It could have completely backfired on him. Completely. He took a risk. Look, I don't want to praise or chastise him either. I'm just saying I get it.
You're wrong. You have to try new things if you're a business owner. So all the respect for him to dare to venture into being a YouTuber on Linux and make a living of it. He's bold. Not bald, bold.
Bold. No, he look, if he was somebody new, like off the street, I'd be like, what's your freaking problem, right? But I've been following him for years. He travels to these fests and does his thing. So I suppose this may sound strange, but I believe he has earned the right to be controversial, if that makes sense.
And that's the great thing about him. He is controversial. He speaks out of his mind, and he makes publicity.
Yeah.
But
I think for the greater good of Linux too.
He's respectful in doing it, though.
Yeah.
He's very respectful in doing it, because there are other people that are controversial on YouTube or wherever from a tech point of view.
For shock value, for instant money or instant gratification, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Brian is he's very respectful, and he's down to earth in doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, you know what? When we were telling jokes, I don't know if we told a good one for Noah. I got a good joke for you to tell your mom and dad tomorrow. Okay, you ready? Okay, a bear and a rabbit are taking a poop in the woods. The bear turns around. The bear turns around and looks at the rabbit and says, "Excuse me, do you have a problem with poop sticking to your fur?" The rabbit says to the bear, "Well, no, I don't." So the bear picked up the rabbit and wiped his butt with him.
Yeah.
Tell that one to your mom and dad tomorrow, okay? Noah?
They'll get it.
They'll like it.
Total.
Yeah.
Total OS.
Yes, Noah.
How do you do these Hangouts streams?
Well, normally what I'll do is...
That's a good question.
There's several ways to do chats, Hangouts like this. Sometimes I'll use, if I'm going solo, like by myself, I'll use OBS screencaster software that's free in both Linux and Windows. Okay, if it's just keep it simple solo, I'll do that. If I'm doing where I want to invite people like this note, then I'll do Google Hangouts because it's by Google, it's free. I don't have to install special software, and I don't think it's resource intensive. I mean, not lots. You don't need $1,000 computer to do stuff like this. I have a Logitech mic, like this here. Okay, I have a simple headset. I think something like this to me feels more professional. I mean, there's different ways. You got these Blue Yeti mics, and Snowball. You don't really need this, but this feels more professional to me, like a sportscaster. Okay. Well, of course, my computer I have a single light, like this here, which is enough. It's I think it's enough. I could use another one, like for fill light, Noah. And then I invite people. Either if it's a private chat, then I'll send an email. If it's on Patreon, Patreon's got a nice link to the left. You can click patrons and send a mass email, one clip. I think Matthias got it and some others. But as far as this, Noah, it's free. It's called Google Hangouts, and it's free from Google. You need to have a Google account and Gmail. That's basically how I do it. So, yeah.
And I like the format. You say you don't have some fancy lights or expensive mic, but we don't either.
Right.
We just connect and
as long as people can see it. This is by no means professional equipment. I would like to have the only professional equipment I would really prefer is a nice faster computer to do the rendering, because this is just outdated. If I had to pick something I want right now, it would be the computer. But this is good enough. Okay, the Logitech mic I think is good enough. My internet speed from Comcast, I think it's not the top tier, it's the middle. I think it's fast enough. So I don't need all the... Mugen said, looks like I'm in a call center. How may I direct your call, Snapperhead? No, but...
I'll do...
Anyway, but that's how I do it, Noah.
So how do you get your different links? Because every time you send a link, it's a different long number, right?
Yeah, that's generated, auto-generated.
That's auto-generated? Because I couldn't just click on it when you sent the email. I had to type the whole thing.
Oh.
Yes.
Crap.
Just to get on with you tonight.
If that happens again.
Stream.
Yeah.
I'll do a stream tomorrow, and I'll invite everyone.
You can. I'm not sure if I'll be available tomorrow, no, but thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Big Daddy uses Zoom. Zoom is good too. I haven't used it I use what's comfortable. But Zoom is fine. I think Zoom you can have more than 10 people on easily.
Oh yeah, we had as many as 16 in there at one time.
Yeah.
But if you do the free thing on Zoom, you can only get, I think, you get a set amount of time depending upon how many people you have.
What is that, Tim? Like 40 minutes or something? Half hour?
Yeah, you get like 40 or 45 minutes depending upon the number.
You know, there's when it comes to stuff, there's different options from free and up. I have an account with Vimeo. I have the freebie account. It's extremely limited, but it's super easy to super professional. If there was a challenger to YouTube, Vimeo might be it. If they offered more free space, but that's where I post the private stuff for my dad's movie and with passwords and stuff like that. But this is okay. This is fine.
This is good for me.
10 people max on Hangouts, I think, is enough.
I'm pretty basic,
so you don't have a static link for this one, TOS. It's a different link every time.
It changes every time, and I think it's for security reasons, just like in OBS when I use custom. Changes, and that's how it should be. I think actually no, for custom. For OBS, you can reuse the same link over and over, but why would you want to do that?
Right. So anyway, your answer
for Big Daddy Linux Live. It's the same link.
Yeah.
For Zoom, it's the same link. For Big Daddy, it's the same link every time.
Okay.
Right. So the only difference there is he put what they call a live area because we had that one young man that was jumping.
Connect, and when he goes live, boom, you're down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Noah.
What's Tom's email so I can try to invite him?
I'm not sure if I can give that out. You'll have to ask him. Okay.
Message him through his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I said that.
Send him an email and ask him. Okay, Noah.
He's gone.
Okay.
He's gone.
His mom.
He's got to be a smart, brilliant kid one day to be this curious.
He is, unfortunately.
He already is. Especially
Brian Landuk.
Right.
He's going to be, unfortunately, tonight. His mom to slap the phone out of his hand.
The hell do you know how much data costs? I don't know.
Anyway, Tosh, in response to that link, I had to type it out. You were gonna.
If that ever happens to anyone, I'll resend it. Don't.
Okay.
That's a long.
It's no big deal. It's no big deal.
Okay, all right. I feel bad, but I have no. But if it's. I'll just I'll just shut it down and start over. I don't have a problem with that,
No, I got on with you.
Okay, well the main thing is to get on. Okay.
I got on. I can type it out. I know how to read.
Okay, cool.
Duh.
Oh man.
Copy paste it or what? Or click on it? Tim?
I'm sorry. Yeah, you just click on it when he sends you the email. You just click on it. Boom.
Normally you just click, right? Yeah. Normally you just.
Right there.
You just click, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I usually copy it and put it because I'll open up in Chromium, but then I'll put it. I'll when I want to actually activate the link, I'll do it in Chrome. So I'll copy and paste it over from Chrome.
Sometimes the type of web browser might make a difference. I've noticed lately with Chromium, it's been acting funny with Hangouts. I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah. Even Opera is kind of strange, but Chrome works all the time. So
I'm using Chrome now, so that was the whole deal.
It just came
in.
It would make sense.
Yeah, no big
if you're going to use a Chevy, buy Chevy parts, right?
But what's interesting is Chrome is built off of Chromium, and then
I know.
Opera.
I know.
Isn't it all off the Linux kernel?
It's their code. It's the but I forget what's it called. There's a name they have for it. Blink engine search. I can't remember. What it is. Yes, Mugen. I'll take a look at the email sometime tomorrow if I can wake up in the morning.
Well, you're an hour ahead of me, Toss. So I'm Central Time. You're Eastern Time.
Yes.
I need to go and take some more medication for my headache because it's come back and I don't want it.
Oh, jeez.
Well, what's the matter with you, Tim? What's wrong?
I'm not as young and vigorous as you are, Tim.
Excuse me, Tim. I'm 57 also, my friend.
Man, you are an old fart.
Yeah. I feel it. A lot of ailment.
Have you got any movies Tim can watch, TOS? Put a movie on for him.
Let's see. No,
what was it, Frankenstein or something?
What were you
watching? Want to do the Abbott Costello meet Frankenstein? At least that's a comedy one. You'll laugh about that one.
You know what? I think I might. You know what? I think what I might do is I might put on Abbott Costello. That's what I'll do. I'll throw on Abbott Costello on my phone and fall asleep to that.
There you go.
That sounds good.
How do you fall asleep to Yo Abbott?
Well, you know what? That's nothing compared to listening to one of Tom's videos. I'm not kidding. Man, I'm not kidding you. Sometimes he gets worked up, and it just scares the crap out of me.
Oh, that's a switch?
Yes.
He reminds me of my friend Joe Donato. He reminds me of a friend.
Oh, God.
But, you know,
I'm laying here.
He's very educated. You know?
Well, you know, when he screams, he creates a 2.4 like earthquake Richter scale. You know.
Seriously, he's talking about something, and you're just right on that edge of sleep, and then he goes off, and it's like, holy crap.
Skybear the Flying by Il Postino. There's actually a character like that on my dad's movie, but that was also a movie by itself. The Postman, Il Postino. Yeah.
Noah wants to know how you send a PM. Noah, your mom knows. Go ask.
Yes.
You know what I'm
no more PM on YouTube. That is true, Heather. That is yeah.
No, yes, you can. No.
Oh, you can? I thought it stopped.
Rob from Linux Quest sent me one the other day. It was on under.
I think it just stopped. They just cut it out. Like.
But doesn't it have his contact information in there somehow? There's a link to contact his.
I think what Noah might be talking about. Noah, here's the difference. You're on the chat. You can send messages that everybody that's watching the video can see. When you sign on to the Hangout, there is a chat, and you're able to chat with only the people that are in the Hangout. So you can do that, but private messaging, a simple private message from one person to another, you cannot do any longer.
Can't he send him a message on his community channel on his YouTube or something and just leave it there? Or
well, that's what I was saying. I think I thought he had. Well, I know he's got his website too. Was it switchtolinux.com or something? Isn't it? But otherwise, I thought he had his contact information, whether it's an email or something, on there that he can contact him on his channel that way.
Did you see what Mugen wrote? Does somebody want to read that?
What really bites is when you go off seeing your discounts at 36. I went gray early.
Oh Lord!
You know, this is kind of funny. A couple of weeks, this will be the last thing, and then I got to sign off.
Okay, yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, wife and I are trying to pull dinner together, and we just thought, you know what the heck, we're just going to do fast food. So we go to Taco Bell. Went to Taco Bell, got our order, and it was hosed up from the word go.
Oh.
So I brought everything back to Taco Bell, tried to get them to do the order right a second time. Didn't get it, so I got my money back.
Wow.
Then I went over to McDonald's, thinking, well, any old port in the store. Went over to McDonald's, and I stood there, and they had 5 people go through the drive-thru. I was at the counter. I was inside. 5 people went through the drive-thru. Not one worker turned around and acknowledged me, said hi to me, nothing. So, turn around, walk out, go back, get in the truck, leave there. My wife and I go to Culver's, and we're standing in line. And this woman's taking this girl, 15, 16-year-old, taking our order. And then she kind of looks up at us, her eyes go back and forth between my wife and I. And she kind of said in this kind of sweet voice, apprehensively, "Is either of you over 50 years old? Because we do offer a senior discount."
Oh, that's sweet.
I looked at her without thinking. I did the guy thing. I went, "Well, I'm not."
My AARP card.
I said, "Well, I'm not, but she is."
Oh, jeez.
My wife gets mad at me every time I ask for that discount. I says, "Hey, I earned it. Why not?"
Exactly. We worked our butts off for it.
True.
My question again to you, TOS, when we're doing the live streams like this, you guys can see the comments. I cannot. How do you do that?
Did you go to the actual link for the live feed on YouTube?
You got to go on YouTube.
Oh, you got to go. You got to go to.
Go on YouTube. Yeah.
Go to another.
It should be there.
Tim, you go on the live feed. You mute it. because if you don't, that's when we get the feedback.
Right, exactly.
Here. And then you in the chat, there's some dots up in the right corner.
Yeah.
You click on those, and it'll have the option for pop out. So what I do is I drag the pop out chat window off here to the side, so that when I can look at the screen and follow the chat versus always looking over here to look at it.
Okay.
Because I have 2 monitors.
Shrink the window that you have the Hangouts in,
shrink
Tim.
the window up a little bit, but
don't have that full screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Next time.
Yeah, I'm looking at the odd news real quick. If I can end it with a zinger.
But you're basically talking about opening up another browser and doing it, correct?
I'm sorry?
You're actually talking about opening up another browser and doing it and looking at it that way, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
And it helps if you got 2 monitors, then you can.
Well, that I don't.
But that's the beauty of it. If you don't, you just like Tim said, you shrink the window down of your main of the Hangout, and then
say that again, Joe. Say that again, Joe. You kind of broke up.
Like if you have a single monitor, all you do is shrink the Hangout window down to make room for the pane on the side. You don't necessarily have to open up another browser either. You could open up YouTube itself in the same browser in a different tab. You're just not going to be able to watch the live stream, but you make sure it's muted and you pop the chat out. Gotcha. Once the chat's popped out, you could close that tab and that chat will still stay live.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joe, this one's for you. Joe, you were an ex-police officer, right? Burglary suspect stops to dance for CCTV camera.
Okay.
What was that?
Dumb criminals. Yep.
Dumb criminal. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I think we're gonna wrap this up now.
Hey, TOS.
Oh, jeez.
Noah's back.
I know.
Oh my God, he's gone.
Okay. Do we still have to whisper?
And
I was gonna suggest earlier in the stream that all of us just yell as loud as we could. Because I think he had us on a speaker on his cell phone. That could have got some attention.
I've been yawning for half an hour here, and that's I'm sorry, I can't control it anymore. I'm tired.
What are you doing, Joe?
I've been yawning. I'm just tired. I've
been doing that too.
Earlier than I'm used to. And
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I get really tired now. I used to be able to stay up all night, but I get tired now around about 10 o'clock, 10:30. That's just about the end of me. But I'm up at 4:30 every morning.
Well, I'm normally a night owl, but I just got up earlier today. The grandkids were over and whatever and wore me out, so I've been gone for longer than half an hour actually, which is I'm trying to hide it here.
Listen to Colin, Mister. It's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm as fresh as a daisy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm fresh as. I'm just looking at you all. It's.
But see, think about this. Where we're going, he's already been in the next day. So
yes,
That's
time
right.
travel, amazing.
Yeah. I'm a time traveler.
Time for me to call it quits, guys.
Well, I'm gonna travel straight to bed, guys. So thank you everyone here live. Thank you everyone in the chat. Everyone who joined in. Thank you all your contributions through PayPal, Patreon. It's thank you. I really mean that. And we'll probably be on next Friday.
More than welcome. You're more than welcome.
Yeah, if I do another private one, I'll send that email. I'll give you guys a heads up, and then we'll go from there. So
I enjoy being on with all of you. Thank you for having me on.
It's a community, terrific community.
Great.
All right, I'll catch everybody later then. So I'm gonna head out to bed.
See you later, guys. See you later,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Okay, Collins, everybody. Joe.
See ya.
Night.
Okay. Good night.